Good morning, Grenada, Carriacou, Petite Martinique, the rest of the Eastern Caribbean, and all those of you listening in Radio Land. I am CJ, and this is Real FM 91.9 and 91.5. We are broadcasting from Main Street Cities in beautiful, rainy, and historic St. Patrick. Good morning to you.
Good morning, CJ.
How
Good
are
morning
you?
to the nation. Indeed, it's a rainy
It's a
morning,
real rain
a beautiful
morning.
day.
Yes, yes. Go right ahead, please.
Give God thanks. Yeah. Heavenly Father, we give you thanks for your goodness, your mercies, and your loving kindness towards us, Lord, which so many times we don't actually deserve, but because you're God and there's none like you, there's none above, there's none beside. And we thank you this morning that our heart can burst forth with joy, saying, thanks, Lord, for the many showers of rain. Thanks, Lord, for all that you have done for us and all you will continue to do. And we thank you for putting a smile on our faces so we can put our hands in the earth and receive the former rain, the latter rain, the former rain and the latter rain you would send upon our lands. And God, we are indeed thankful that you have been able to replenish the our water supply that was dwindling, oh God. And these things should cause us to say, God, you're indeed a good God. It should cause us to say, Lord, you're great and greatly to be praised. And God, you even encourage us in your word, be not anxious for anything, but in everything by prayer and supplication, we can make our requests be made known to you. And the peace of God, which passes all understanding, shall keep our hearts and our minds. So sometimes we get anxious, we worry, we fret about things, and we cannot sometimes, even in our own human mind, change them. But God, we thank you because we could have confidence in a great, big, and wonderful God who reigns over us. You're supreme. And God, you are so good to us this morning in many different ways. And God, even as we rise to see a new day, Lord, we want to say thank you, Lord, for enabling us to see a new day. From sunrise to a sunset. So many people went to bed last night and didn't make it to see a new day. And sometimes we take these little things for granted. But God, the fact that we are alive and we have breath in our body, we can move. We say, let everything that have breath praise the Lord. Let everything that have breath give thanks unto God, for he is good. His mercies endure forever. And Lord, today, even as we face this day, Lord, we don't know what giants we might face, what trials, what testing, God. But we can be assured of one thing, that you are in charge, you're sovereign, you rule in the kingdom of men, you rule over everything, Lord. And God, we can put our life in your hands this morning. And we can say, Lord, lead us and guide us throughout this day, protect us from accident, harms, danger, protect us from the evil, the wiles, and the plans of the enemy. We come against powers of darkness, rulers of wickedness, and high principalities and powers in high places, oh God. We pray that you would just pull them down. We pray that you would break the powers of the evil one over our lives and even over situation in our homes and our villages, our parishes, oh God. We continue to ask of you to that your peace would envelope us, your peace would come in, the peace that passeth all understanding would rain down, give us wisdom, give us knowledge, give us understanding where we lack it, Lord. Teach us how to walk in your ways. Teach us how to talk in your ways. Pray that you'd order our steps, Lord, according to your word. Teach us how to be kind. Teach us how to be loving. Teach us how to be caring for each other, Lord, even as we go through this day, Lord. We ask for your protection as we travel on the buses, on our private vehicles, Lord, to the different points of this trial and state, Lord. We ask you to surround us with your protection and your help, Lord. Pray for those who are going through bereavement, Lord. You know, there are many people who are mourning and have lost their loved ones, Lord. We pray today that you, with a tower of strength and stronghold, they would look to you. They would realize that God, all their help come from you. And we pray for strength. Those who are going through sicknesses and really need a touch or intervention this morning in their life, God, I pray that you'd pass by, where they might be in their homes, in their hospital, whatever situation they find themselves. Sometimes people are told that the situation is hopeless, Lord. But with God, we know there is hope in you. We pray that you would touch this morning. You will intervene, you would minister to those who really need a touch and those who are seeking you for a breakthrough, whether it is financially, whether it is physical, mental, emotionally. This morning, Lord, I pray that you would just touch in a special way. I pray that someone today would open up their mouth and say, Lord, I need you in my life. I need to you to turn around situation, God. And God, we're just going to pray that, God, you're going to minister today in a special way. You know that person who is seeking you for in this situation and in this thing, Lord. I may not know it, but God, you know. And I ask you to reach out and touch this morning in a special way. Father God, I pray that you give us a blessed and productive day. And at the end of this day, we can look back and say it was a day well spent. It was a day that we give you honor, we give you glory, and we give you thanks for all of you would have done. Remember those children who are still in school, Lord. Remember them. They're going out with them and they're coming in, Lord. Even those who are doing exam, continue to grant them the wisdom, the knowledge, and the understanding that they would need to pass their exams, oh God. And most of all, help them, Lord, that they would look to you and they would ask of you, Lord. God, continue to watch over us, continue to protect us, continue to help our nation, whatever we're going through, it is gun violence and so on. God, we continue to pray that, God, you would turn situation around for us. And Lord, we just give you thanks. Wait, Claire today, even as she deliberates on our program, Lord, mental health, Lord, whatever they'll be sharing today, I pray that it be a blessing to others and the program would go on unhindered and continue to encourage us as the citizens of this country and wherever it is reaching through the different diaspora, different areas, Lord, that people would find comfort and help. We ask for your blessing today and your covering today as we give you thanks. In Jesus' lovely name with thanksgiving, I pray. Amen and amen.
Amen. Amen. So let me ask you, coming to work today, you're going deep under the covers?
Hey, what will be?
Let me tell you,
I don't
that
think we are
rain,
good. Yesterday I was in already felt like staying home by what? But
yeah,
then I see the sun come out, I say,
that
wow.
is the thing. And this morning when I checked the weather, they said it's going to start raining at 1. So I put on my little, my
Hmm.
kind of regular shoe. By the time I get to the bus stop, the rain started to pour. I said, but
Hmm.
what is this? But I'm not complaining, because it gives you a good night's sleep because you just go deep under your
Hmm.
covers and you sleep away. But I prefer stay home sometimes. But, a girl got to go to the JOB, and I think me and
Yeah,
everyone else. So
yeah,
thank you so much for checking in
yeah,
this morning, and I'll talk to you soon.
yeah.
Take care.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
bye-bye. Have a blessed day.
You too.
Bye.
Where you go? Where you walk? What you say? When you talk? Where you go? Where you walk? What you say? When you talk?
Step inside. Immerse yourself in colors that come alive.
Color by Sissy.
Let your imagination run wild. Surround yourself in a world of color.
Color by Sissy.
Endless inspiration. Bold expression. Bold expression.
Color by Sissy. Sissons. Express your style with Color by Sissons.
The first word when you speak about furniture is classic. Yes, at Classic Furniture, they design and make the best in local furniture. All their products are made from the finest local wood available on island. You think it, they design it and make it to your expectations. The highest standards at the best possible price, and they also provide higher purchase for you, their valued customers. Located on Ben Jones Street in Grenville, with their factory at Chantemelle in St. Patrick. That's where you need to visit when looking for products made of the finest local wood. They deliver and install items at no extra cost. Your satisfaction is their mission. The extra step is taken to ensure their customers are completely satisfied. They do doors and finished kitchens, supplies mattresses, and restores antique pieces to look like the first day they were made. Hey, give us a call on 442-4645 and 442-9726. Classic Furniture, Grenada's homegrown furniture producers.
It is said, the proof of the pudding is in the eating. Therefore, the authenticity of the beverage can only be acquired in the taste. A taste which is original to Antoine de Beauregard Industries and comes from a combination of spices and local rum, which can hold its own all over the world. Woodman, a strength which speaks for itself. A taste which stands out from the rest, bottled with care, which speaks to perfection. Try Woodman today and be stunned by a flavor as never before. Let your palate savor that which is produced locally. Do not be deterred by substandard products. Our taste speaks volumes and sets us apart from the competition. You will be satisfied with every sip of our product. Say rum, say Woodman, feel satisfaction. Now that's quality.
Tourism is me, tourism is you, tourism is everybody, and tourism connects us all.
Did you know that tourism generates revenue and foreign exchange earnings?
Did you know it stimulates infrastructural development and facilitates cultural exchange among people?
You must know tourism is linked to all industries,
from agriculture to construction.
So support the industry today and be welcoming to all our visitors.
Tourism is my business. Tourism is your business. Tourism is our business. Listen one and all. Tourism connects us all.
A message from the Ministry of Tourism
And the Grenada Tourism Authority.
GRENDEC Community Partnership Initiative.
The theme for the science fair is water and energy strategies, the key to sustainable development. It encourages students, it promotes caring for the environment, sustainable development, and we want the students to display practical activities and real-life situations of what is really going on out in their environment. And we look forward to companies like GRENDEC continuing to see the relevance and significance of something like a national science fair.
GRENDEC, energizing our community.
Ladies and gentlemen, the time has come for Grenada to laugh again. Heritage Theatre presents Spice Laugh Comedy Bash 2024, Saturday, June 22nd and Sunday, 23rd June at the Trade Center in Grandance, and on Sunday, 30th June at the Deluxe Cinema in Grenville. Showtime, 7 p.m. every time, featuring some of Grenada's best ambassadors of comedy: Robert White, Dillion Walters, Kareem Alexis, Dale Bowler, and other outstanding comedic performances, all coming to knock you off your seats with laughter. Get your tickets now. Bring out the entire family. Tickets are $60 and available at Mitchell's Pharmacy in Grandance, Gittins Health and Wellness at all outlets, Art and Soul Bookstore, Spiceland Mall, 3B's Shoe Store, downtown St. George's, Calico Supermarket, Grenville and Sutairs, St. David's Pharmacy, and Go to Fet. It's time for Spice Laugh Comedy Bash 2024.
Get ready for an unforgettable night at the Grenada Caribbean Music Festival by Silver Sands, featuring some of Grenada's finest, Mr. Killer, Sabrina Francis, and Jefferson.
I just wanna turn up right now. So make a dance on the floor.
Plus vibe to the sweet sounds of reggae with Lila Ike.
Step on this journey where Jah put me. Well, if I things my weakness.
And feel the energy with soca queen Patrice Roberts. Join us on Saturday, June 22nd at Port Louis Lawn. Early bird tickets are $100 for your general admission and $250 for your general plus, which includes exclusive perks. Standard tickets are $150 general and $300 general plus. Gates open at 3 p.m. with our pre-show entertainment, Vibe Stage, and Vendor Village. Tickets are available on GoToFed.com and at Grenadian Optical. That's the Grenada Caribbean Music Festival by Silver Sands. Follow us on social media at GC Music Fest for all the details.
It is 13 minutes after the hour of 7 o'clock, and I think I have Drumsticks online right now. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
How are you?
I'm not well. I have the cold, but
Oh. So it threw you down, or it kept you down, or you okay?
It kept me down, but I go to fighting.
Oh, you're fighting, yeah. Go,
Yeah.
Keep fighting, because I heard it's a very terrible one that is going around.
Yeah, you look so.
Yeah. All righty, go right ahead.
Good morning to the nation. I'm reading from the Word of God, Psalm 100. Make a joyful noise unto the Lord, all the lands. Serve the Lord with gladness. Come before his presence with singing. Know ye that the Lord, he is God. It is he that made us and not ourselves. We are his people and the sheep of his pasture. Enter into his gates with thanksgiving and into his courts with praise. Be thankful unto him and bless his name. For the Lord is good, his mercy is everlasting, and his truth endure to all generations. This is the end of the scripture in this morning.
Thank you very much. You always give me some shotgun, you know. I like concentrating on it and I hear the voice fade. So, how is my pepper going with all that rain that is flashing around there?
They're looking green and nice.
They're looking green and nice.
Green water.
All right.
Yeah.
I know I'm going to find out where it's in and you're going to see me show up one of these days, eh? Pepper.
I hear you.
All right. Take care of yourself. Have a great day.
Okay, you have a wonderful day.
Yeah, bye-bye.
In an industry where customers expect quality, M&N Hardware Limited is a leader in locally manufactured aluminum windows, doors, roofing, and guttering. Our manufacturing division is efficient, flexible, and will always go the extra mile to surpass customer expectations. If you need security, sash, casement, or projected windows, we're able to do it. Our security and heavy-duty doors are state-of-the-art and can be customized specifically for you. Using innovative coating technologies and protective film, our roofing and guttering is weather-resistant, providing outstanding color retention for many years. Available in 24 and 26 gauge and a variety of color options. We are the leading company, a family that is proving to customers they can have their dream products. M&N Hardware Limited. Foundation to roof, let's build together.
50 years as an independent nation. Now that's a reason to celebrate. Bank on a bright future with Quad Bank as we celebrate more than 50 years of partnership with Grenadians. Aspire, build, and advance with 100% financing to buy land, purchase or build your home, or make those much-needed home upgrades. No loan fees, no legal fees, low interest rates. And that's not all. 100% financing on brand new vehicles with 50% off loan fees. Celebrate you this year with special financing from Quad Bank. Apply today.
Welcome home. In our part of the world, we need to be prepared for natural disasters like storms and hurricanes, even outside of the season. I'm sure you'll agree that keeping our loved ones, homes, and businesses safe is important. So, I came up with a few quick tips to help you stay safe. Familiarize yourself with your electrical panel, as it may be necessary to switch off the power during a storm or flood. Make sure you install a transfer or isolation switch to prevent your generator feeding electricity to Grenlec's line. If trees are too close to power lines, call Grenlec at 237 for advice. By following these easy steps, you will be well on your way to being hurricane ready. Don't be caught off guard by natural disasters. Prepare now. For more information, visit grenlec.com.
Where you where you walk, what you say, when you talk, where you go, where you walk, what you say, when you talk.
And it is time that we head to the Maurice Bishop International Airport, and I've got Tricia Miller online this morning. Good morning to you, Tricia, and how are you?
Good morning to you. I'm very well, thank you. Good morning to you, listeners of Real FM. It's a cloudy morning here at the airport. Winds are from the southeast at 14 miles per hour. Barometric pressure 15.1 millibars, which is above the mean, and it's rising. Present temperature 28.1 degrees Celsius. Relative humidity 84%. Yesterday's maximum temperature was 30.2 degrees Celsius, and the minimum temperature last night was 26.1 degrees Celsius. Over the past 24 hours, 23.3 millimeters of rainfall were recorded here at the MBIA. This brings the total for the month so far to 53.7 millimeters. Now the public forecast valid for today and tonight for Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. The weather is expected to be mostly cloudy and windy with light to moderate morning showers, and there's still a low chance of some lightning and thunder. Winds easterly to east-southeasterly at 14 to 24 miles per hour, gusting higher at times. Today's maximum temperature is expected to get up to 31 degrees Celsius. Seas moderate to slightly rough, waves 6 to 8 feet in open waters. A small craft advisory is in effect. Tides will be low around midday and high about 6 p.m. Sunset this evening at 6:31. Sunrise tomorrow morning at 5:42. So just to recap, the weather is expected to be mostly cloudy and windy with light to moderate morning showers, and there's still a low chance of lightning and thunder. From the Met Office, Tricia Miller.
Thank you so much, Tricia, and have yourself a great day.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
How you move when you move it, which direction you going, you gotta be careful.
Doing good water handling practices can save you and the environment in the future. Remember to close the tap when brushing your teeth, bathing, washing wares, or shaving. Leaving the tap open while performing these tasks can waste as much as 30 gallons of water collectively. Conserve water today.
A message from the Climate Resilient Water Sector in Grenada, G-Cruise Project.
In an industry where customers expect quality, M&N Hardware Limited is a leader in locally manufactured aluminum windows, doors, roofing, and guttering. Our manufacturing division is efficient, flexible, and will always go the extra mile to surpass customer expectations. If you need security, sash, casement, or projected windows, we're able to do it. Our security and heavy-duty doors are state-of-the-art and can be customized specifically for you. Using innovative coating technologies and protective film, our roofing and guttering is weather-resistant, providing outstanding color retention for many years. Available in 24 and 26 gauge and a variety of color options. We are the leading company, a family that is proving to customers they can have their dream products. M&N Hardware Limited. Foundation to roof, let's build together.
GRINDEC Community Partnership Initiative.
The theme for the science fair is water and energy strategies, the key to sustainable development. It encourages students, it promotes caring for the environment, sustainable development, and we want the students to display practical activities and real-life situations of what is really going on out in the environment. And we look forward to companies like GRINDEC continuing to see the relevance and significance of something like a national science fair.
GRINDEC, energizing our community.
Where you walk, what you say, when you talk, where you go, where you
Well, it is that time of the morning when I check in to say good morning to every one of you that's on the live. I'll start off with Teresa Joseph. You are the first to check in this morning. Errol Bonaparte, good morning to you. Mary Olivaci, buongiorno. Claude Abraham, Marlon Klein, the staple, always there, good morning. Alban Harris, good morning to you. Wallen Ackworth, good morning. Gemma Warwood, Anne-Marie Celestine Grant, Ruth Chaiterman, Mayana Julian, and let me say good morning to Mayana Plenty also. Faithlyn Hallie Douglas, good morning to you. Jerome Lewis, good morning. Yes, T.O. is in the house. Adrian Watts, Shirley Scarrett, Christine Otley, Cynthia Bartholomew. I'm telling you, Cynthia, you are a traveler. You were in Brooklyn, you were in this, now you're in Baltimore, Maryland. Good for you. Frank Chadburn, good morning to you from Ecuador. So you're still there. Signal bright and clear. Hope to visit Grenada soon. Thank you so much for checking in, Frank. I've been asking where you are so that I can track your travels, and here you are this morning from Ecuador. You're still there. Ann Andrews, good morning to you. Louisa Holder, good morning. Veronica Edwards, good morning to you. Let's see. Okay, got your fuchsia flower shape face, fuchsia flower shape. Okay, so that's a culture she's giving us this morning, Veronica Edwards. Let me say good morning to Miss Job. Ephraim, good morning. Good morning, Kenru. Coffee in the morning, good morning to you. Miss Matheson. Lorna Bain, good morning. Teresa, we already said good morning to you. Faithlyn, we said good morning. Brooklyn, good morning. Norma. Marilyn Franklin, good morning to you. Marilyn Ferguson, good morning. I know that you're listening. Yualma Emery, good morning to you. Keith Sylvan. The Date family out there in Tio, good morning to you guys. I know that you are not having rain. We are having rain here, but that's it. Mona, good morning to you, and good morning to all the lovely people of Monkridge, based on Mona. Good morning to you, Bandy, and your brood. Donna Sandy, good morning to you. Michelle Thomas. Junior out there, Granditang area, good morning. Mary in Toronto. Miss Brown, Michelle, good morning to you, and all the staff and at Classic Furniture, good morning to you. Good morning to the Cashew Tree University students, staff, everybody. Good morning to you. Ian Millett, you are included in the Monkridge Passy of good morning. Antonia Rogers, good morning. Good morning, Antonito. Michael Fraser. Susan, Paula, and Mama B, good morning to you. Judy Georgia there in New York, good morning to you. Pat Pear, good morning to you, and also good morning to William Pear. Pat Cape James, good morning to you. Good morning to you, Lynette John. Again, Elsa Korean, good morning to you. Maureen, good morning. That's part of the M people, a whole lot of M's that hang out together. Redonna and your mom, good morning to you. Carla English, good morning to you. Let's see, who else can I say good morning to? Good morning to each and every one of you that checks in on Real FM every day and even every Tuesday to listen to the mental health program. Good morning to you, Maxwell Belfon. Hope all is well with you. Good morning to my brother Dexter in Riverside and the other one in London. I heard, Irving, that it is cold there. I just got a message from my friend that went there a couple of weeks ago, and she says, can you believe it, Claire? It is cold in England. I said, isn't that what you ran away from and come to Grenada? Why did you go back there? So it is cold in London. And as far as I hear, it is always that kind of weather. If you never visited there, then I can't say because I've never visited there. And somehow that's a place I never really had it in me to trek there. But one of these days I'll go there and see what the big thing is all about, because everybody said it's a nice place, it's very historic and all that. I like historic buildings. That's why I'm going to travel to Milan one of these days for the beautiful architecture that is out there. So this is what we have so far, and it is 7:27, and one of says 27:27, one says 7:30. I have not seen you all know, I'm not saying anything, I'm not even calling his name because I don't want nobody to take me out this morning and say, I hear her say this morning that she's going to do, I'm not doing anything this morning, I'm waiting. Maybe the rain must have wet the car. And he ain't able to make it in as yet, but I am leaving him right alone. Rain must have wet him, so I can't say anything more. I'm just waiting.
Morning.
Yes, just waiting. Yeah. So it is 7. Let me see. One of the computers is saying 7:28. one is saying 7:30. So I'll just go with the one that he's saying 7:20 because I think that is the right one because my my watch is saying 7:32. Woof. So it is late 7:32 and some of us just decide that they're gonna make it in this morning right at 7:32. I am not calling no name as they say, no name in the mass. But I'll say good morning to you. Good morning to you, Jester. Good morning to you, Jelani. How are you guys doing?
Good morning to you, Claire. Good morning to you, listeners of your wonderful program. It's a pleasure to be here. Morning to you, Jester. It's always a pleasure to come on. And Claire, leave Jester alone, please. It's early.
Hold on a second, let me fix this thing because I think I've seen half of Jester. Maybe that's what I want to see this morning, or half of him. Not the whole. Come up a little more there for me, mister. And I'm seeing a little bit of you too. And let me just fix this. I think we're going to hang out with that for the time being. So what's going on?
All right, so let me say good morning. Good morning to you, Claire. Good morning to you, Jelani. Good morning to the listeners and viewers of Real 91.9 FM. It's a pleasure to be here once again for another Tuesday on the Mental Health Show.
It is a pleasure, you sure? And you're coming late, so...
What are you talking about late, girl?
7:32.
Claire.
When you walk in here, it was 7:30. I think
you're confused by your time already.
No.
You have two different time there, and maybe your watch giving you still another time. So you are confused what time is concerned.
What time is your watch time? You're always trying to make me feel as though I'm mad or something is wrong with me, but everything is A-okay with me, people. Everything. Yes. So, what was the weekend? We had a weekend, Jester.
Yes. My weekend, it was good not until I look at the game with Grenada and Costa Rica. That upset me most of all my weekend. It was a real dismal performance by Grenada. Yes, Costa Rica ranked how much? I think it's 52 in the world. Mm-hmm. And Grenada ranked how much? 174. Mm-hmm. But playing at home. And at the end of the day, it's 11 against 11, you know. So you can lose, but lose with some form of pride and, But the manner in which we really didn't do anything in that game, to be honest. After coming out, we're getting a draw in Trinidad against Trinidad, Lots of people would have expected a better performance, However, we fail miserably. When I tell you that, I tell you all, and I'll close on that.
You close, okay. You close on that.
Yeah.
All right. You close on that. So I think we're much better now. So you're not saying good morning to Mona, your cartoon lady. She'll just be bad in your corner for you,
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And the terror, the extremists and them.
Speaking about that, Miss Mona was in your territory last night, man. We've been doing some commentary up there because we're down to the semi-final stage of the Mount Church competition. And the thing is, the good thing, that competition has been held in the honor of Chester Bandy David. Mm-hmm. Very much deserving of such, that's the good thing. So we have the other semi-final tonight, and the finals would be on Friday, God's will. So.
Okay, the finals on Friday.
Yeah.
Let's hope it doesn't rain out because you see these nights we're having a lot of water,
Yeah, that's true. Well, God is answering the prayers of his children, Mm-hmm. A lot of people have been praying for it,
Yeah, but let me tell you, make the rain come and fall on those who are praying and who ain't praying, just so you know.
Of course.
Whether you're praying or not, and it's coming, it's then falling on some men house stuff and not on all house stuff. It's falling on all house stuff. Let me say good morning to Pele Dabo. Good morning to you. Miss Matheson, good morning. She said she's having problem with the internet and she's waiting for the rain. Well, we have a lot of it down here. I don't know if we could send some up with the osprey, because it is. We have it from since last night it started raining and went all the way until the morning. But you know what? It just gives you a good time to sleep. So, Jester,
yeah,
I have to say a special good morning to a gentleman that lives in New York. He checks in on the live every Tuesday morning in the name of Alban Harris. You know my bestie is here, right?
Yes.
Yes.
One of your besties.
My bestie. No, the other one of my peeps. This one is my bestie.
Okay.
She's here, and she came in on Saturday for a very, very short visit. She came in on Saturday, and I just got myself up there. I came home after 10, and then I went back on Sunday because that's my bestie. And on Sunday we were talking, and I said to her, Brian is there also. I don't know if you met Brian. Brian is this tall guy, and Betty is there. And we were talking, and he says, are you going on the radio tomorrow morning? And I said, no, I only go on Tuesday. And he says, this guy, Alban Harris, is always listening to you, and he knows who you are. I'm like, he knows who I am? She says, yes. So I said, but where? Then he says, think about Park Place. I'm like, okay. So which part of Park Place? He says, same building. And then I said, oh yes, I know who he is. So when I say Park Place, it's Sonia, Betty, Brian, Alban, the whole crew. So I have to say a special good morning to you, Alban, for checking in on the mental health program every Tuesday. We really, really do appreciate that you listen. And just who you have again that us listen to others come on the live again too for you?
I can't recall. If you can recall for me. If you can recall for me, let me know. But Claire, well, when I want to talk about Park Place, I was thinking of Mr. Parks.
No,
remember that big grocery store?
No, that is a different Park Place.
Yeah. Yes. And then speaking of Sonia, I happened to run into Betty Alexander, my wonderful classmate back at McDonald College. We used to have some really good times back then in school, man. So I'm happy that I met Betty.
Yeah, hear me gloat. She hasn't seen me for a while, my friend Sons. So she decided to take a trip because I'm here to come and see her bestie. See how special I am, Jester? Anybody does leave
Claire, don't flatter yourself, please.
Anybody does leave the place and come and look for you? Yes, so.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, so I'm a happy camper right now, to be quite honest, because this is my true grit. I've known Sonia as longer than I know you, because since McDonald College, and we used to do everything. As a matter of fact, Augustine Pascal, I was talking to him the other day because he came here and he says, you're on this damn one. I said, which one? He said, you know what I'm talking about? I says, who? Because I want him to tell me. You're on Sonia? I said, what happened to us? He says, you used to just give me so much trouble. I said, and the other one is still here giving you trouble. He said, yes, I don't know what's wrong with you. Every time you all see me, you all have to say something. I said, you are a little good boyfriend then.
Yeah.
But we can't call him the name we used to call him again. He tell me, his name is Augustine Pascal. I said, right. When I call you who I used to call you, don't answer.
But I know that you and Sonia tight from way back. I know that for a fact. Didn't she used to teach at Rosie at one time too? So that meant Yvonne was also in the PTO with them.
Yes.
Yeah.
We used to all teach together and go to the step program. And
Teresa used to be part of the whole thing.
Yes. Yeah, man. So, my peeps.
So before he kills me this morning, my brother Ryan, which is also in your...
Yes, he's here. Betty came to see him yesterday.
Yes, Betty came up to see him yesterday.
Yes.
So I know you'll want me to, wish you all a good morning for him and
thank you.
Give you all his love. He hasn't been able to see everybody on his short visit, and he's living today.
Oh.
So you hadn't been here this morning. I know you'd want me to share his love with both you and Chester.
Well, thank you so much, Ryan. I mean, that visit and has been short as snowball in the winds in summer,
This time I did not get an opportunity to run into him.
Yeah.
But Ryan and Edmund, these two guys, boy, these guys could have shook any audience across the globe. Seriously, when I look back on the days, they were really, really good with this theater kind of acts, man. Really, really, really good. They were really good.
Yep. So we're going to start into our program this morning, and we are going to talk about how to let go of things from the past. When I'm doing research on things, as Miss Ferguson asked me last week, to always go back where I came from to get topics to talk about. And last week we talked about as we age, how to let go of things. This one is a whole different ball game. But a friend of mine, another peeps in TO, said to me, we always ask people just if you have something that you want to talk about, just send it to us and we'll do research on it. She sent and she says we should talk about how to let go of things in the past. So here we are talking about it this morning. And it starts off by saying life experiences affect people in a variety of ways. Some people find it easy to move on after a difficult experience, while others find that these experiences have a lasting impact on their mental health. People who struggle to let go of specific events from the past may have experienced trauma. Trauma is a kind of psychological wound that can result from any distressing experience, such as loss, danger, or deep embarrassment. Often, people associate trauma with being involved in a violent event such as war. However, it can affect anyone. The distress it causes can also change how people think. Some people experience rumination or a tendency to think excessively about the same things. According to an article in the American Psychological Association's Monitor on Psychology, people who ruminate often have a history of trauma and believe that ruminating helps them gain insight. However, rumination may actually make it more difficult to solve problems, thereby preventing people from moving forward. It's a common feature of depression, obsessive-compulsive disorder, generalized anxiety disorder, and post-traumatic stress disorder, which is PTSD. People can also hold onto the past for other reasons. For example, they may long for positive experiences that are now over or dwell on the past events because of an unconscious desire to avoid being hurt in the future. Most people experience ruminating thoughts from time to time, especially when they feel worried or sad. A person might ruminate on their fears about an upcoming medical appointment or test, while a student approaching graduation may ruminate about failing their final exams. And this has some real triggers, this rumination. It says some potential triggers of ruminating thoughts include a specific stressor such as a failed relationship, a recent traumatic event, perfectionism, low self-esteem, an upcoming stressful event such as final exam or a major performance, facing a fear or phobia, such as a person with fear of needles having a blood test, awaiting information about a potentially life-changing event such as medical test results from a loan approval. Persistent rumination, especially when a person experiences other psychological symptoms, may signal a mental health condition. And of course, we are dealing with mental health. And there are a lot of things that we think is not part of mental health when we are speaking about it, but everything affects us mentally on a daily basis.
Well, the word rumination used a lot in that opening there, so we got to make people know exactly what rumination is all about.
Tell
I think
them.
it would be important.
Google it and tell us what rumination is.
I don't think I need to Google it. I think rumination is a deep, actual thought about something. Maybe it might be describing other words, but to me, I believe that's what rumination is all about. It has to do with some deep thought or consideration of something.
Well,
look it up. You might get something similar.
I would say ruminants are animals that chew on the cud. So it means, you know the expression, you have to chew on it a little bit. So I would also...
Yeah, you're right. Regurgitating, like you eat things and then you bring it back.
You bring it back up to go through it slowly and dissect it.
Yes.
Just as a deep thought into it. Yeah, to assess.
We have a call, would you believe? Good morning.
Good morning, Claire.
Good morning, Mona, and how are you?
One day at a time.
That's it, so Jesus, as they say.
Give God praise. Ilani, good morning.
Good morning to you, Miss Mona. How are you this morning?
How are you this morning? I
am blessed.
Okay, give God praise.
Always.
My boy.
Say my girl.
The Carlstone lady.
My boy.
What's happening, my girl?
There you go.
What do?
God is good. I'm all right.
I hear somebody say you can't wet. They say they ain't saying nothing. They're just waiting because you have somebody to defend you.
Yeah.
But tell her, be careful.
Yeah.
Angelani,
Aye.
you have to be careful.
I realize, you know.
Eh?
I realize.
because the table could turn on both sides, you know.
Razor blade.
Oh, wow. You specky then. Cutting on both sides.
Oh, my Lanta.
Chester,
Miss
you passed
Mons.
here last night,
Yeah.
yesterday evening. What happened to you?
I mean, what happened?
You don't know what happened to you?
No, tell me.
Miss Monoi! I'm passing!
Well, you that Mona, you're easy, my girl.
Yeah?
Don't worry.
What do you mean?
I'll pass in today again. You'll get what you expect.
Hey, I don't like this kind of thing. And you still have heart coming on the radio and saying, I was in your area last night.
Yeah. Come on tonight. Come on tonight.
Come out tonight?
Yeah.
Rain go wet me. Rain go wet me.
Oh man,
And I
I'll
don't
protect you.
I haven't got a blanket.
Hey. Blanket does not stop rain. You have to get an umbrella or a raincoat.
Well, when you wet and you cold.
Well, blanket, but you're not supposed to get wet. You have to take a
Well,
stitching
that's why I
time.
tell him. I don't want to get wet.
Okay.
So leave me inside.
I hear you. Makes
I'm
sense.
listening, you know, Jester.
Yeah.
I'm hearing.
Yeah,
I'm hearing
man.
the action, you know.
Yeah, it was nice. It was really, really good. It will be better heading into the final.
God is in control.
Yes, ma'am.
You have a blessed day.
You as well. Good to hear you.
I'm going to take the wet.
All right. All right.
Right.
Take care. Oh, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Yes, so that is our staple Mona. And I just talk about ruminating. It says it's obsessive thinking about an idea or situation or choice, especially when it interferes with normal mental functioning. So there are people that they think so hard that they don't even know that they're doing, and it's affecting them in a deep way mentally. Miss Ferguson says, just a good morning. Good morning to you, Jelani. And Miss Mona, Miss Ferguson says, good morning to you.
Good morning to you, Miss Ferguson.
Good morning, Miss Ferguson.
Yeah. So we're going again. Many mental health conditions can cause rumination, but rumination may also interfere with the symptoms of such pre-existing conditions. These include depression. And it says, talk about a person with depression, how they ruminate. And it doesn't take a lot for someone to step into depression, you know that, eh? You may think that everything is okay, but something is just niggling you. And then you start thinking about it over and over, and then you become depressed. And a lot of us don't even know that we are going through depression until something moves in a different direction. We go to the doctor and they say to you, what are you thinking about? What is stressing you? What is this? And then you start thinking back, and they know that you are being depressed and you need to get help fast, because if you don't, it's just going down a slippery slope and you would not stop. The topic today is how to let go of things from the past. Natalia John, good morning to you. Good morning to you, Kathleen Ledlow. So again, it says people that are going through rumination, they suffer from schizophrenia. And you hear a lot of people talk about, oh, that person mad, and that person this, and that it doesn't really mean that the person totally mental, Schizophrenia can cause you to go that way because you're thinking, people see you and they say, you mad, but you have good conversations with me at one moment, and the next moment, I have to run for my life. And it is a mental thing. And a lot of people that walk the streets of Grenada, St. Patrick's, Sautez, they're schizophrenic. And sometimes they are misdiagnosed, and they send them to the pink house, they get their needle, and so they come back for a moment, and then they have to go again. So it is something that we have to really pay deep attention to, because not everyone that walks the street is mentally ill per se, but they're going through a different thing. And if we don't pinpoint it at the time or grab it at the time, it can become mental illness. And I've known of people that got killed by police and so because they are schizophrenic, and police is the last set of people anybody that is mentally unstable wants to see in their life. the police, because they know once the police comes, it is not something that is going to be pretty for them. It's either they end up dead or they get shot or something like that. And I know of a guy that went to the police, 2 as a matter of fact, that went to police with knives and they end up 6 feet under, but they were schizophrenic. So it's something that we really, really have to pay attention to. It is right in the midst of us. So it asks here how to let go of things from the past. Oh, let me say good morning to Jenny. She's listening from Tio on her walk. She's walking and listening to us. So even the mobile people and just that's another of my people.
Let me say good morning to them people in Hill Street.
The extremists?
I met one yesterday, right around the studio.
Yes. Chance the Game, good morning. He's from Toronto also listening. And Leo, good morning. And to all the rest of them. Carl Belfon, good morning. So, yeah. So, yes, it says some habits, including practicing mindfulness and creating physical distance, can help you to let go of an emotionally painful experience. Talking with a mental health professional can also help. It's a question many of us ask ourselves each time we experience heartache or emotional pain. How do we let go of past hurts and move on? Holding on to the past can be a conscious decision, just like letting go, and moving forward can be a conscious decision. And it says tips for letting go. One thing that connects us as human beings is our ability to feel pain. Whether that pain is physical or emotional, we all have experiences of being hurt. What separates us, though, is how we deal with that pain. Expert trusted sources have said that when emotional pain prevents you from healing from a situation, it's a sign that we aren't moving forward in a growth-oriented way. One of the best ways to heal from hurts is to learn lessons from the situation and use those to focus on growth and forward momentum. If we get stuck in thinking about what should have been, we can become immobilized in painful feelings and memories. If you're trying to move forward from a painful experience but are unsure how to get started, here are some tips to help you let go. So I have 2 gentlemen in front of me right here. Kip James, good morning. Have any of you been hurt in any situation whatsoever, and how do you move on, or how did you move on from
it? Being hurt, yes, I'm human, so throughout one life's journey, one would have experienced hurt in some type of way. But what would have been perceived to be hurt, I should say, in some circumstances, because you don't know better, you think you're being hurt, and sometimes it's actually you hurting yourself. But looking at this topic, it made me do some, introspection myself. And the way I looked at it is, maybe throughout this entire discussion, you would notice that the way one's disposition on life is often the result of how we go through a large portion of our lives, thinking, unless some occurrence happens that changes our experience and therefore changes our perspective. And I've found people to be either the glass half full or the glass half empty type of person. It doesn't mean to say one type of person is better than the other. Eh?
Nope.
The half full type of person is a person who is more optimistic about life and therefore is more likely to not allow a previous experience to deter them from having another experience in a like manner, like environment, right? They could say, thought might be, this time could be my turn. It's like playing lotto. This time could be the time, but I have to be in it to win it, right? The half empty type of person is a more risk averse type of person, whereby they hang on to those experiences and try to learn from them. And often you'll find that as they move into similar circumstances, they carry the learnings from that entire experience into that relationship. And you'll find that they look for similarities between what is happening now and what has happened previously in order to protect themselves from being hurt. And sometimes, often, don't realize that they're actually creating or recreating the environment to have that same experience again. And therefore, that adds to the experience and it keeps on going and growing. Like I said, sometimes you have to carry and say, learn from your past. So yes, looking at situations where there are similarities and say, hey, I've been through this before. I don't want to go down this road. Maybe let me set the boundary as opposed to this is the exact same thing that's happening here and making assumptions. So to me, it goes hand in hand both ways, either type of person. And you're likely to, ruminate.
Or regurgitate.
Yeah, on
Yes,
those things
yes.
based on your natural disposition as an individual.
Claire, well,
What?
I would not sugarcoat nothing here when I speak here this morning, right? And I guess you're speaking that hurt is from a relationship point of view, right, with someone. I have learned from very early that when one is in a relationship, you should have your 10-15% unresolved for disappointment.
What are you back
This is what I always do up to D.
Okay.
In the event that hurt comes along, that 10-15% is what will help me to be back up on my feet, right? And to move along, all right? You're not saying that you wouldn't feel a bitter hurt. You will, especially depending on the circumstances of which it happened. But I'm telling you, sir, I tell you I wouldn't sugarcoat. If I been with a lady and she feel she go haunt me and expect my life to mash up, joke she making, she probably might, if she takes something from me, some valuable piece of property or treasures or something, I probably want to kill her. But if she thinks that giving me a hand will look to mash up my life, joke she making, she had to think again.
Your 15%
That won't
coming
happen.
into
Exactly, comes right into play.
Okie dokie. And we hear it first from the man himself, Mr. Justin Wall.
No, what I'm telling you, just
there it is. Oh, you hear him? No matter what he love you all, but he's living at 15%. So he's not sugarcoating. Okay. Fine. Like everybody else, as you say. We're all humans and we all get hurt. But again, it's how you step out of that hurt. And if you want to sit there and mope and groan and give people power over you, it's your fault. You have to know how to mosey on from any situation. We get a call. Good morning.
Good morning to Claire. Good morning to Grenada, Carrico, Pity Matnik. Just I hear you, boy. You know, one thing she will con you and get away with it to tell a lie. Just that.
No, if she thinks she will mash up my life, that don't happen.
But die, my boy. If you think you come and try to stress you out, you lie. You have something else coming.
All right.
Anyhow, I just called to say good morning. Miss Madison, good morning. Miss Andre Donald. Yeah. I don't even want to talk about the past now. Yeah, I don't want no old memories come back.
No, don't ruminate. Don't regurgitate it and do nothing.
I don't even go in there.
No, don't go there.
And good morning to this mister. What is that man name there?
His name is Jelani Glean.
Oh, that is the man they said are running for election.
Well, no, we don't know if you're running, you walk in still.
No, I'm telling you what I hear people tell me in the terminal and tongue. Oh, he's Mr. Glean?
Yes.
Them Glean from Shanty Melody people, sir?
Yeah.
Exactly, that's exactly who I am.
Okay, all right. Okay, well, all right.
He's a Shanty Melian.
Yes.
Oh, he's from Shanty. You drink Welcome water too?
That's the right location, right there at Welcome.
Oh, yeah, I know Mr. Glean. I know them.
Yes.
Them.
Yes.
Anyhow, well, you have a blessed day.
You
I
too.
just listen, Jester.
Yeah, come in.
That woman thinks she will stress you out.
No, that ain't happening.
You
Forget
have
that.
something else coming. You can take me that property, you killer. Why you
Yeah,
kill her?
maybe I might want to kill her for something so.
Yeah, no, don't kill. Don't talk about killing. All right.
No, I mean, it's just to really send the point home, really, you know.
All right, darling. Bye-bye.
All right, take care. Bye-bye.
Them woman listening, Jester.
Oh, yeah, they have to listen.
They listening.
I ain't saying that out of shame, I'm proud of saying that.
Right. Good.
Aye.
Okay, have a good day. And try to get it in for me.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, all right.
Okay.
Keep touching.
Mm-hmm. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Yes, boy. Boy, Jester, you dropped the bomb this morning.
I know some feedback will come on in life, but I can't care less here.
I'm trying to whiff to toot on that one. So yes, so it says here, when you're going through this thing, you have to create a positive mantra to counter the painful thoughts. It says, how you talk to yourself can either move you forward or keep you stuck. Often, having a mantra that you tell yourself in times of emotional pain can help you reframe your thoughts. For example, says clinical psychologist Carla Manley with PhD, instead of getting stuck in it, I can't believe that this happened to me. Don't get stuck in that.
Mm-hmm.
It happened to you, move on. Try a positive mantra such as, I am fortunate to be able to find a new path in life, one that is good for me. That is the sort of mantra they're saying. Instead of being stuck in the mud and you see there's, all this that happened to me, and why did that happen? Forget it. Put on your big girl pants and panty and mosey on. It happens, you cannot do anything about it, let's go.
Claire, that is easier said than done. Yeah.
Really?
Yes, when we're on the outside and we're in our normal state of mind, it's very easy for us to give advice and to position ourselves and think that if we're in that situation, this or that is what we will do. But that thing they call tabanka, when people are deep into it and going through the emotion and the hurt, it's really not a time when you're pretty objective with yourself, right? So for somebody like me, through my life experiences, I don't have no mantra. I'll be quite honest about that. I don't have no mantra. What I do have is boundaries that protect my peace, well-being, and values.
So that's your 15%. You just have it in percentage, but you have it.
No, that's my 100% in everything I do.
100, okay.
100% in everything that I do. So what happens is, in the event that disappointment comes, I am never disappointed in myself. I know my values.
And
I know what I bring to the table. I know the type of person I am, and I know what I have to offer. But I am equally the type of person who doesn't think that because I bring this to the table, because I am that way, you are obligated to be the same way because we're trying to build a relationship. Note what I'm saying. We're trying to build a relationship, right? And sometimes in building a relationship, at different points in time in the relationship, somebody carries a greater percentage of the load, right? And that is just reality.
Sure.
However, should you decide at some point in time you can't carry that load, or you decide there is a better opportunity for you to carry your load, I am not disappointed in me. I am happy for you that you found your way and your path. Now let me be so I can find mine. All right?
Spoken like the Dalai Lama and find your peace.
Yeah. So I'm always in that place where I'm good.
I hear you. Antonito is listening from the mountains. So if you want to call us from the mountain at certain time, go right ahead. If you're getting reception, well, you must be getting reception for you to be telling us that you're listening from the mountain. So yes, it says create physical distance from there. Is it? Let me see. Right. So you're going to create physical distance. And before I go, Jelania says about your 100%. Each and every one of us has to know our worth. And if you don't know your worth, then something is wrong with you. Because you see, this thing called self-esteem, a lot of us have it so low. We set our bar so low that somebody could trip on it and think that is the best thing that happened to us. It is not. You have to know who you are, your self-worth, what you would take and what you wouldn't take. And there are certain things you take a lot of. But there comes a time when the straw breaks the camel back, and let me tell you, the home just go down, vroom, you're no longer a camel. You're just riding a donkey right there. So it's time for you to mosey on out of that. And a lot of us take a lot of stuff from relationships or friendships, even platonic or whatever, because we tell ourselves, we can, if I lose that friend, maybe I wouldn't get it. There are a whole lot of people out there. You just have to start to get to know people. And I, for one, I know my walls are very high and thick. It's like I'm guarding the gold in Fort Knox right here.
Yeah.
And when I let you in, you in. And if I say stay out, you out. And if I let you in a little bit and you come and you're starting to show me kind of thing, I'm closing my door. You're done.
Yeah, Claire, get done now.
Done like dinner.
Claire, I'm bother me just there.
No, you see why he does get what he get when I
Yeah, man. I'm bother me just there this morning. Because, you know, I'm in total agreement with you. Like the way I see life is, I'm the type of person, you know, people say that trust is earned, right? Mm-hmm. As you build your relationship, you earn the trust based on experience. Mm-hmm. I operate the total opposite way to that. When if we meet and we become friends, I give you all of my trust. Now it is the responsibility to maintain that trust is on you. Mm-hmm. And if you decide to break that trust or deceive that trust, then you are not worthy of it. You prove yourself to be unworthy of it. I am not going to be the one to deny you of my trust. So later on, you would say that, oh, well, you never trusted me in the first place. I am going to trust you. I'm going to trust you to be responsible with my trust.
And you know, that is the thing. When you know somebody break your trust, they say, oh, you didn't trust me in the first place, but you break that trust. It wasn't me that break it. You did it. So if you're saying that I didn't trust you because you give me cause not to trust you because you broke the trust that was given to you to have and to hold.
Yeah. And quite often people would break that trust and then use reverse psychology on you to make you feel that it was your fault that they broke your trust.
But it's only stupid people that go believe that.
But trust is not an easy thing after being broken to be rebuilt. It's not like you go and break down a piece of wood and you nail it back up.
No, it's not. And the thing is, even when somebody break the trust, anything they say afterwards, you're questioning it, you know. Mm-hmm. Anything whatsoever, whether they tell you the truth or the line, you're going to question it because they already broke that trust that you gave them. Yeah. So, you know, it is what we're talking about is really, really important. There are things that you have to let go of because if you hold on to certain things, you would be like a stick in the mud. You'll never make progress. Mm-hmm. Never. Good morning to Pedro Jamati. He's calling. He's listening from Barbados. I think we got a call. Good morning.
Yes, good morning, Clay.
Yes, Mons?
Clay, I agree with you 100%.
Mm-hmm.
If I trust you and you don't trust yourself, I have confidence in you and you get in and walk out.
You tell him walk, eh?
Walk out. You have to have trust in yourself, trust in me, and we could move on. But when you ding dang in there, things are bright. You have to have confidence in yourself. Don't make people get mad on you. And you telling me one and you doing another?
I true that.
You telling me one and you somewhere else? How can I trust you? Walk out. Just a walk out. Did I walk out?
You're telling me to walk out? You're telling me to walk out?
And she told you that already.
I tell you, walk out first.
Okay, you force yourself to walk out.
Yeah. Right.
Thank you.
And Jessica, when you see this kind of ding dong, run. Chilani.
I'm in front.
Don't wait for the thing to get bad. Run. Run for your life. And Chilani.
Yes, ma'am.
I do hope you have love just as your mother, Juliet.
I try. I don't know if I'll ever live to reach that level, but she and my grandmother. But if I reach half that level, I ain't doing too bad.
She have a lot of love. I could tell you.
Thank you.
It's somebody I mingle with, and I know she have love. You may not remember me. I don't know if you remember when she was driving us out under the balcony in Mr. Glynn place. Once when we were campaigning, and I called my friend and said, come inside and sit down. And she watched me and she laughed. I said, come inside and sit down. And we sit down and we start to chat. I hope you have love just as your mother. Keep on moving on. Jester.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Claire.
Yes, ma'am.
Claire.
Yes.
Run.
Behave yourself. I hear you just crow like a hen. Yes. Jester, you hear?
Yeah.
She crowing like a hen. Claire.
Yes. I am. Listen, Mona, can I say this to you?
Yes.
I am in my happy zone. I am a happy person, and there, when I laugh, laughter.
No, I not laugh.
Oh, okay, I crow. When I crow, I feel good.
Not even crow, you cackling.
And when I'm
like
cackling, yes, all of the above. It is all who I am because I'm being my authentic self. I cannot come here and somebody says to me, like an idiot. I laugh. This is it come from my diaphragm and come up, and if you can't stand it, too bad.
I don't care what the days become. I always like to laugh.
Yes.
He happy, he sad, you laugh. Nobody knows what you're going through. Just laugh it out.
Laugh it out, yes.
And in the name of Jesus, you will be so happy.
That I am.
And you will never think. That's why you're laughing so.
That is because I'm a happy person. Let me tell you, nobody cannot steal my thunder, and I wouldn't let anybody steal my thunder. They could take the lightning because they're afraid of lightning, but not the thunder.
That's right.
Mona, somebody sent a message to you.
Yes.
She says, the person says, try hard as you may, trust broken cannot be rebuilt. She also says, tell Mona they will have to take the first flight out because in walking out, they may stumble and fall and you will still have to pick them up. You don't want to pick up nobody.
One thing bad already, you could go and pick up them. Thing bad already, you pick up. What do you? When you chase that person, go. Me, go turn back and pick you up.
I know.
And in 2 weeks' time from today, it's my birthday.
Okay.
Jester.
Happy birthday in advance.
No.
No, Jester, no. Mona will number one fan.
That too quick. I go forget it.
I understand. Have a great day, Mona, and continue listening.
Always.
Thank you.
Right, good.
Yes.
No, with Miss Mona making mention of Jelani's mom with love and thing. Well, she used to be referred to as the mother of our club. That's Eagle Super Strikers. Always been there. But the thing is, as players, because she used to be going with the team, and she used to have a roti to sell. Somebody wonder how she used to make profit. Because I tell you, once we perform well, she will just give on the roti.
Yes.
I just can't forget that. That was just so sweet of Mrs. Glean, man. My skin get goosebumps.
You wrote to us of people that was not in the club to sell. Once you're in the club, she's going to give you the roti. The people that wasn't in the club that she was selling it for.
No, not necessarily so.
I just saying that. Leave it alone, yes?
Is there just happy? Well, my captain, Franklin Batiste. You know what wrote in mine and Manita already? Those days just junior team, senior team playing same day, right, in the school football. So he's playing senior, I'm playing junior. So when we go off to play early because we can't eat late, which I have to wait after the game or I was both junior and senior team. So till late in the evening I get to eat something. Just Franklin will always wait when I leave to go and play and go by mommy and collect my roti and I never see him.
Roti when you thought it's way.
That Franklin Batiste, you think he good? Boys, my boy.
I tell you, that's my true soul. That's my true soul. My captain.
Did he have another name, a nickname?
Franklin Lizette.
Lizette. Yeah.
Fitzroy Batiste.
Yeah.
Okay. So yes, so let me say good morning to Claudette Sylvester. She's saying good morning, and she's under the weather today, but it is really very cold in Toronto. Enjoy it, put on a sweater, whatever it is that you have to stay warm. And Claudette, and who else again said something? She's not feeling well, and let me see who else is saying. People are always telling us things on the live. We're good like that.
While you're doing that, let me say good morning to Patsy. That's one of the Glenelg walkers. A lot of Glenelg walkers have been listening to us, Claire. Yeah. And the last time I went up there to collect some water, man, and it's like, whoa.
They're listening to you, Jester, and then they come in and say, oh, this lady, or does do Jester this and that, do Jester that, and I'm warning you all people, look at Jester sitting as a big man, and Jelani hear him this morning, what he's saying, that's why he does get whatever he's getting. But because they hear it from my voice, because my voice is a bit strong, they're thinking, we have a call. Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, CJ. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning.
How are everything? I'm okay, man. Okay. No, as we speaking about trust this morning, eh? One thing that came in my thought, like boyfriend and girlfriend, that we put our trust, we trust our boyfriend trust our girlfriend. I know we have friends that we trust that boy, the girlfriend, or the girlfriend and them. And they sometimes they came and they may come and say, well, Secretary, I see your boyfriend somewhere, and things talking with someone. Right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, because when you say that, because your husband come home, your boyfriend came home, and then we face that we believe that what we hear, our friends said, that we believe it. Right? And we instead of we trying to handle the situation the right way, we vex with him and we choose to we vex with him and we believe that what our friend said. Because in life we have to be very careful with people. Because sometimes you and the boyfriend may going on good, your husband going good. And there's some good friends of yours may you have some trust in. Because of jealousy, you want to break up that relationship. And you want to break up that relationship. So like yes, he come and tell something that you have to go through the right channel and confront him about it and say, well, I don't believe, but just as a wife, as a girlfriend, I hate someone say that to me, or just let you know, but I don't, but just let you know that. Right? Because see what happened again, listen, with that trust that we have with the boyfriend, and we could lose that trust because we believe in what our friend said, right? And we don't believe the person that we say we really trust and the person that we have, that me and you and the person have a happy life. Because see, people now, they try to break up life. And just to get in between you to take away that person from you. Because they see the life that you and that person living is a wonderful life, and they may have a relationship with someone and it's not going on as good as yours. So they try to break it up.
Yeah.
So we have to be very careful what we say.
Thank you.
Right? That's mine.
All right. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, he has a point. A lot of people do stuff like that. They create confusion in relationship and all that stuff. But mind you, there are a lot of relationships that what they say is true. As I say, there is no smoke without fire, right? No fire, whatever it is, smoke and fire. But a lot of people could be malicious like that, and let's put it that way. What you have, they want it, so they'll condemn you so that they can move in to the situation. And when they move in, they realize, well, hey, I thought that where I was going was better than what I left, but it's not. So, you just have to be you and be your true self, your authentic self, and know that what you can deal with and what you can't deal with. We have a person online, her name is Elva Edwards. She says, good morning, first time listening and enjoying the program. One Aquat says, the best way I deal with trust is starting from 100%. Any problem, it breaks down, 100%. Any problem, it breaks down immediately. And that is the thing, the word trust, it has such an impact on each and every one of us in our lives. Whether it's in relationship, whether it's in friendship, whether it's in work, whether everywhere, trust. When somebody breaks your trust, there's no way you're getting it back.
Yeah, that's right.
No way at all you're getting it back. And everybody think, oh, you don't trust me, and you don't trust me, and you're listening to what this person did. If I didn't break it in the first place, I wouldn't listen to what anybody else is saying.
Graham, to be quite honest, and now I'm not a person who believes the world is always in black and white.
No, we have gray areas.
A lot of
gray.
The gray areas are real broad too.
Bad.
Right?
Yes.
And there's a quote from Bob Marley that, that says that in general, it says, no matter what the relationship you get into, someone is going to hurt you.
Yep.
The goal is trying to find the person that's worth the amount of hurt that they bring. Right?
Speak, Bob. You did already, right?
Yeah.
But sing, Bob. Sing.
Right. So I'm the kind of person, I wouldn't say my trust, you can't get back my trust. But
it is a hard thing to build back.
To earn back my trust, it begins, first of all, with accountability for your actions.
Yes.
Right? Because you're responsible for your actions. And then then from there, we can start discussing, redress and how we we start where we start from, and that's a work in progress.
Yeah, WIP, we
right?
go with that, yes.
No, and even with friends, right? And this is kind of different between male and females to some extent in relationships and friendships. So a male here, and just a perspective on this will be good, because not everybody's the same. So in a male situation, as a male, I'm more concerned about a male friend of mine being friendly with my girlfriend, right?
As you say, you cannot have a bestie.
You can't. That's a zero, right? And that's something I'm dead serious about, right? Because what you're literally doing is you give your bestie the cheat code to making yourself vulnerable to them, right? But you'll find that a male who is jealous of his friend and the relationship that he has would go around and bad talk directly with the girl. He wouldn't come to the same male and try to run her down, because males take that kind of advice in a different type of way. You tell a male something, he ain't quick to run up and act on it. He listens, he ruminates on it, and becomes highly suspicious and starts doing his little investigation and start checking behaviors and that kind of thing. Females, on the other hand, they're very open to receiving information. So you find that when a female friend comes and tell them, oh, the boyfriend this and the same here and this and that, then they open to that and they're quick to act on it without considering. I'll give you an experience of mine. I remember there was a time a girlfriend of mine and I, we were at home, we were looking at some show on TV, laughing and some funny thing we were looking at. And a girlfriend of ours called her and tell her, call me now and ask me where I am. Because look at me going into a hotel with a female and describe clothes that I actually own, that I was wearing. And she's looking at me right now with the young lady going. So call me and see what she'll do. And based on my response, she will walk up and, intercede on her friend's behalf. And we're there together. So she said, go ahead. Intercede, and maybe if I wasn't there with her at that point in time, water can wash me. That's only water can bathe me. So, we have to be also careful with our source of information and then acting too quickly on information we receive without verifying. But those are not relationship problems. Those are our attitudes and how we operate as individuals and persons that bring those issues into the relationship. At the end of the day, we are the ones responsible for our actions.
True that. True that. Lorna says trust can be rebuilt, but it takes time. And this is the same thing that you were saying. In the first place, you gave the trust and it was broken. That's where the earning of the trust is coming back now, because they got it freely in the beginning and they broke it. So then you have to earn that trust if you have to. And let me tell you, it won't be an easy walk in the park to get back there. It won't be at all. So yes, let's go now. The next part is create physical distance. He said it is not uncommon to hear someone say that you should distance yourself from the person or situation that is causing you the upset. According to clinical psychologists, that's not such a bad idea. Creating a physical or psychological distance between ourselves and the person or situation can help with letting go of the simple reason that we are not having to think about it, process it, or being reminded of it as much, she explains. And that is true. Because if that person is always in your face, you will always be seeing that person and thinking about it. If you distance yourself, you say hasta la vista, mozion, adio, adieu, French, I'm speaking French now, bonjour, no. How do you say in Italian? Again, tell me how to say in Italian, Olovaci.
Arrivederci.
All that. You say bye, hasta la vista. That's it. Distance yourself. So when you do, you won't have that every day to see it and having to think about it.
But
yes.
While we're on that, when it comes to this, I know in some relationship already, when people are having problems, one of the options they tend to go for is like let's take a break from each other. Do you really think that makes sense?
Well, let me okay. It depends on the situation that you are in the relationship. Because let me tell you something. If two of you are there together and every day is war, you do need to separate yourself to go. And it's not that you're separating yourself to say, okay, this is to think clearly. Start questioning yourself, asking yourself questions as, Is that really working? Can we make it together or something like that? You have to distance yourself sometimes from a relationship. I'm not saying to go by your friend or go this. The distance, you could be inside the same house and distance yourself, you know.
Just
I
take it
don't find
from me.
making sense.
Just take it from me. Right? Don't bother with Clay.
Okay.
8 out of 10 times, the person who recommend the brick is the one who breaking the other person heart. That person already have the sights elsewhere. Because if you really care about somebody, you care about your relationship, you want to resolve your issues in your relationship.
I'm not saying no.
Taking a break don't make the problem disappear. Don't address the concerns in any way.
Okay, so why is it that you go to therapists and sometimes you have to take yourself away from the situation because you're not thinking clearly while you're there. While you're resolving, yes, you're not thinking clearly, and that is why it's saying to take a break, because you're not thinking clearly. So if you just step out of it for a moment, you start to ask, you questioning yourself too. Not only the person, you questioning yourself. What is in it for me? Why is it that we are not making it together? What is the problem? Is it me? Is it you? Is it us together not compatible? You have to. This is why they're saying to take a break. I don't know what your break is, just
No.
tell me what your break is to step away to take a break.
Sometimes people go and live apart from each other for a while.
Yeah.
But sometimes it calls for that also, because psychologists will tell you that if you are in the same, remember when we had COVID?
Take your time here. Don't let that tempt.
No. You remember when we had COVID-19?
Yes.
And there were people that they had husbands and wives, boyfriend and girlfriend, whoever relationship they had. They used to stay in the same house. But you know why the relationship worked? Even though they were having problems in that relationship, in that house. I go to work, you go to work. We come home in the evening, we eat, we go to bed, we go to sleep. Who come home later and want to go and sleep, and that is it. During the COVID-19, when we were on lockdown, that's when we get to know a lot of things that takes place in relationship inside people's house. Because they were beating each other. Men were abusing their wives. Wives were, it was a crazy, crazy time. It says 30% of the people in France, I'm giving France because that's where I got it from, they had to rent hotel rooms to separate people that were in relationships because of the abuse that was going on inside. So this is what I'm saying. Sometimes we are in relationships and we are in homes, but we are not always 100% or 95% together, because you go to work, you spend 8 hours a day at your workplace, right? Sometimes you go, you meet a friend, you have a drink, because you're making up time not to go home. So when you go home, you say, I'm home. You go, if there's food to eat, if you don't want food, you get a drink, you take a drink, you go, you brush your teeth, you bathe, and you go to bed. You weren't having that tight-knit thing. But when COVID came and everybody had to live in the same space, this is what happened. So sometimes they're not saying that they're telling you to leave so you won't have that relation. It's to take a mental break and start questioning yourself and let the person be in that space, you in your space, and think about it, because sometimes that is what's going to make that relationship work.
All right. So Claire, this is my thing about this break thing, right? I could tell you for a fact, yes, for certain types of circumstances, taking a break works, because what happens is you're emotional already, your mental state is not good in the moment, and there are triggers that are happening in the environment. So you step out of it to distance yourself from the triggers that are affecting you.
Yes.
But the most important thing you're saying, all of this is not just a stepping away from the trigger so that you could return to a normal state of emotion and clarity of thought. It's what you do when you're on that break. That is what prepares you. So, for example, there are some people, when they come back to the situation, they're ready to talk about it and they're ready to deal with it because they're not triggered, the emotional state is stable. Some people, they don't even want to come back to that. They just want to move forward with their lives and leave that as a last chapter, right? Some people, while they were out on break and enjoyed themselves and this time they didn't have that to think about, they went out, they had a good time and so on. And now they're back, according to the song, from outer space. When they're back in the situation, now you see boyfriend moving with new girl or girlfriend moving with new boy, and that becomes a trigger again, and you're right back to square one, because while on break, you never had the opportunity to actually deal with what it is that's triggering you, what it is that's moving your emotional state. So what you do while you're on that break is what is important. Now the question Jester and I had asked initially, in a lot of the times, if you take a calm decision to take a break, can you use that same time to address what you're dealing with? And the COVID situation, I understand what you're saying, but part of that situation had to do with COVID restricted your natural freedoms that you were used to. So it was a change for you in your environment that you had to deal with. And the only people you could take out your frustrations on, literally, is who is in your household. And so that also contributed to creating a lot of those dilemmas and so on and so forth. So I could see stepping out of that. Sometimes you step out for 2 days and I don't want to be here, I want to be by my wife. That's what accustomed sleeping with. But you just needed that break to give you that perspective.
That is all I was saying all along.
Right.
But you see the thing, somebody just said, yes, you have to take a break. It does not have to be going from each other. We do need that time at some time to take a break. We do need, listen, you have your brothers and your sisters that came from the same belly of your mother. And not all the time you get along. Think about, you meet a stranger, you marry that stranger, you live with that stranger, you don't get to know that stranger, and you will never get to know that stranger all your life. And there are certain things, certain idiosyncrasies that each of us have that we all cannot deal with each other. Now, you said that to stay, you may want to stay in the situation and think about it. But I'm asking myself, if the situation were good in the beginning, you weren't even going to think about taking a break. It's because something is going on inside there that even though you stay and you talk about it, would not make the difference, because the person is already doing what they are doing and don't even care about how you feel as a person at that time. So sometimes you just have to step out. And as I say, look at the Kodak moment. Look at the big picture and start asking yourself questions. Ask yourself meaningful questions. And when you come up with the answer, you will know whether you're staying or you're going.
Let me ask you this though.
Ask me.
Can
I answer though?
Yes.
Okay.
When you decide to take that break and step out, it's good for you. It's good for your mental health. I agree with that, 100%. The person you're taking the break from, how are they feeling?
I wouldn't know that's their feeling.
Exactly. So when you're ready to step back, who are you stepping back to?
To myself.
You have to be.
To myself.
Have to be.
Yes. You see, I have the answer I'm sending to myself, because let me say this to Jelani and Jester. No situation is perfect, we all know that. But if you're going to create a situation to always make me feel hurt or something, how many times are you going to do that? And how many times do I have to take that?
Claire,
Yes.
you're operating from a position of you're in the right.
No.
Sometimes the problem is with us.
Well, yes, us. As I'm saying, how many times do I and how many times do you? Us.
Right? No. Sometimes the problem is with us. We want to take the break. We want to step out. We want to just that. You know, at times, sometimes a female have somebody else on the outside. Or it could be a male too, either side. Somebody else on the outside catch your eye already. Your relationship good. Nothing wrong with it. You appreciate it, everything going fine. But you start to find all kind of problem. You didn't wash it well.
You didn't flush it all. You didn't
give
put
me
on the
room.
seats.
You're only jamming me up on the bed. You know, you're looking at TV all the time. Everything is a football. You're playing football 20 years now. You know?
Yeah, but it's true. It's true.
Every day is a football. All kind of issue and problem.
But that doesn't necessarily mean that the person sees somebody out there, you know.
Not necessarily,
No.
but quite often.
But I don't know about it often, but that doesn't necessarily mean that the person sees somebody else and that's what they're doing. You see, we as humans, there's this thing in us that, you know, you look at things, you watch things play out in front of you. And there comes a time when you start to question yourself, is that for real? Are you for real in the things that you do or say or anything like that? And as I said, there's only so much a human being can take at certain time. And there are people that are in relationship and things happen. And yes, they make a change to suit the situation, to say, okay, you know what? This is not going the way we want it to. Let's work together and get it. But what about the person that is, say, you trying to reach me and I don't want to talk about it. How does that work?
Well, in that situation, like in my view, you have to understand your person.
Right.
You have to understand your person. Like I often say, sometimes we try to communicate with people in ways and methods that we prefer to be communicated to, right? Some people like to listen, some people like to read, some people like action, right? So to communicate certain things to you, I may have to write you a letter. I may have to make a phone call. That's enough.
Yes.
I may have to come to you face to face. I may have to dramatize to get you to understand. I may have to get you to look at a movie that has a type of situation and say, hey, can you relate this to how we are? And right? Because I'm a person, you may have to write me a letter. You may be the type of person, you need the dramatization, right? Quite often we try to communicate in the way that we prefer to be communicated to. When in true and in fact, we need to be understanding in that relationship because we build in a relationship. You know, you see some people in a relationship and you say, well, I don't understand how this man can stand this girl. Like, that don't make no sense to anybody. It don't make sense to you because you're not the person who took the time off to understand how that person operates, how that person thinks, how they communicate, and so forth, and try to, get to know them in that way. And that person has been successful at doing that. So if you learn your person and you know your person, then you would know, hey, this isn't working. Let me try a different approach. Let me try to understand better how to deal with that. Sometimes some people are shut down and they're not ready to deal with something. And all you can do is say, hey, when you're ready, just know I'm here, I'm ready to listen, I'm ready to talk.
But what if they're never ready?
Then that's on them, that's not on you.
Okay. But then you have to be in that same relationship with that person that is not ready.
Yeah.
And how you work out that is working?
Do you move forward?
As I go, that's anyway. So yeah, and point taken. You are so right because you see the thing about it as you said, and you said about somebody being somebody's bestie, and that girl shouldn't have a guy as a bestie. Just
no bestie policy.
Just as my bestie, but tell him try let me take him out.
No bestie policy.
You see, just as my good bestie.
Just I have a tree. I have bestie peoples. How can a name call this man? Are you in bestie too?
Yeah, bestie.
No, but I'm glad Claire raised that point again because somebody, people tell me, and they don't seem to understand how good you could be moving at opposite sexes and you don't cross certain lines, and some people have difficulty in understanding that. You know what I mean?
And the thing is, I've known Jester I know you since you were a baby. I know Jester how many years now, and Jester and I are just Jester and I. That's why we could sit across from each other and I could say things to Jester and he ain't taking it personally because he knows who I am. He knows me for a long, long time and I haven't changed in that field at all. Like yesterday, I started in front of Van fight to take me out to kill me, but he and Van have bricks. I could do those things and into Jester. But you see, people, because our mind is so warped, Jay, that people will think, she and Jester must have something for the way they move in close. Yeah, we have something. We have a special platonic relationship, Jester and I. We don't cross lines. We don't do nothing. We chat and, I'll say wrong things to Jester and he says, but Claire, what's wrong with you? Claire, something is wrong with you. You always ask me that and I say, nothing is wrong with me. That's me being my authentic self. And that's, we don't know how to say it more. That there's nothing going on between Jester and I more than Jester and I.
Because only recently, only a matter of a day or two, two different persons raised this. And I just had to laugh, really just laugh it out.
So Claire, here's the issue.
Yes.
The issue is not how nice you and Jester relationship.
What is it?
The issue is you're bringing in somebody new
to
that relationship that does not have that relationship with Jester.
Who that person is?
Right? The Mister.
Which Mister?
Right? So when that Mister comes in, you have to give him the confidence of what that relationship with you and Jester is. What? You have to help him build into that relationship. Because I'm telling you, a gentleman coming into a relationship and his girlfriend has this bestie male friend, his eye is on that from day one. Because that is not his friend. He may not have known the person all his life. And you may say, okay, well, I had my friend first. And, well, okay, date your friend then. Be with your friend. If you want to be with me, this is what it is.
But
this is what I need. This is what I need for us to be comfortable in our space and environment that we're trying to build. If that is not for you, that is okay, Clay. You can have your friendship, but you and I will also have just a friendship, so I don't have to worry about your other friendships.
But isn't that though kind of putting you away? So when you start to make me see trouble, I don't have my bestie to go to.
Well,
that is fine. That is also okay.
But let me say something here. If that's how it's going to start off on, me in that situation, you think any woman could come and tell me, okay, let's flip it the other way around. And a woman have to come and tell me, hey, I know that you and Claire are good friends, but you and I together now, you have to take a back seat from all this thing. You think any woman could come and tell me that, Jay? Forget it.
Love him.
Forget it.
Yes,
It's ending right there. Because you know what? That would be a recipe for disaster in that relationship.
True that.
And I have no problem with that. You see that right there? I have no problem with that. But that has to be at the beginning of the relationship. You understand what I'm saying? Just
well, yes.
It has to be from the very get-go. So you wouldn't go further in a relationship with something like that. Now, me personally, I understand. If I'm in a relationship with somebody and we're trying to build something together and they're uncomfortable with certain situations, I have a responsibility to help them be comfortable. It may mean bringing them more into our environment so that they can see and can understand how we operate and how. So it may mean, Claire, you and I are good friends and not will ever change that, right? But here's what, I'm in a relationship now and my girlfriend is a little bit insecure about the type of relationship we have. As a matter of fact, the friendship you and I have, she and I don't even have that yet. You understand what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So here's what, I want to take a little step back, right? And get her up into that space, maybe spend some time together with me and you so that she can comfortable and can understand the type of relationship she and I have, so that then we could all grow together. You understand what I'm saying?
That is perfect.
Nothing is wrong with that.
Nothing is wrong with that.
But if you know, I'm not willing to do that, then I'm not giving her consideration from the get-go. And then what type of relationship are we building?
It's true.
If it's too much for me, then I need to say, hey, Claire's the love of my life. I know Claire since birth. She's been there for me through thick and thin, or whatever the case may be. And I need you to understand that this is just the type of relationship. If we wanted a relationship, we'd have had one 17 years ago. But this is the relationship we have and we cherish it. I need you to be understanding to cater to that and to trust me in this situation. Now I'm asking for your trust. So if I betray your trust, it's on me.
On you.
All right.
Always on you. Let's see. Sky said you need to take a break, but you guys can go on the vacation together. And there are those of people in your life that don't even go on vacation. They don't even want to go on a vacation. So then you want to go to solve the issues that what's going on, maybe just to step out and you're stepping out together. But still, they don't want to go on a vacation. So it doesn't make any sense.
They clear a little day pass together. Just one little day pass a day.
You ain't here, they ain't going. Okay. Dolores Redhead says good morning. Bernadette Williams says good morning, everyone. Bernadette Abraham, good morning to you. I know that you're listening. So here the other one. It says, do your own work. Focusing on yourself is important. You have to make the choice to address the hurt that you have experienced. When you think about a person who caused you pain, bring yourself back to the present, then focus on something that you're grateful for. So what it's saying, do not wallow in the pain of what that person did. You see, you have to know, and you have to know to yourself what your worth is, and do not give people that power over you. Don't give anybody that power over you to think that you sitting there and your hand under your chin. Why did I do what happened to me? No, forget that. You have to know to yourself who you are, where you are going, and what you want. And because let me tell you something, you sit there and you're wallowing in the pain, and the person is enjoying their lives going and not even thinking that you are, you were there or you had a relationship with them in any way or form. They move on. So you cannot be sitting in the back there and moping and groaning and say, no, move along. Just move to.
Clint, in a relationship, maybe you're the wrong person to ask that because you're so confident.
Me?
And you know who you are, you know. So
tell me again.
In general though, for most persons.
Yes.
When you lose your relationship, your trust was betrayed, you were deceived, you feel cheated on, whatever. Who's the loser in this situation?
That's a question?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know how to answer that.
Well, quite often, the person who was cheated on, the person who had the betrayal, is the person who feels the hurt.
Yeah.
And then they feel like the loser.
They feel like it, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you are the loser.
Well, I don't even feeling that way. I don't even coming close to feeling that, because
Exactly.
at the end of the day, it's like, thank you, God, for declaring this thing for me. I mean, Black Adam have a song, you know?
Yeah, I was joking to tell you that.
Black Adam have a
He
song.
said sometimes it's a blessing in disguise.
Listen,
and that's it.
The day you left was the best day of my life.
Yeah.
Because it was at that point in time I realized what your value is to my life. It took that for me to understand that you were not the right person for me. And therefore I could start the first day of the rest of my life from then. So I don't feel bad when somebody acts out and show the true colors. I thank you for it and wish you well on your journey. But ours will not continue in that manner from here going forward. And I don't feel bad about that, because now finally I'm available for the person that is destined for me, who would understand me, who would find me. I don't even have to go look for them to, have the opportunity to get to me.
You see, is it Cindy Lauper that saying, I've seen your true colors?
Just as so clever she could sing it.
Well, it's raining. I could do some sunshine today.
Blame it on the rain that it's falling. Yes. So yes, everything you say is true, because sometimes you are in a relationship and you think that, well, how am I getting out of them? Something, God does put things in front of you, boom, for you to see, so you could make your MOVE, you are God on the move. So, sometimes, yes, you may feel hurt, but like I said, and he says, practice your mindfulness, do your own work, know who you are, know your worth, and then you're going to be good. Because there's nothing more dreadful than you staying somewhere that you can't make no progress. You're not making any progress. You don't know what you're there for, and you're there, and people are just moving on. So when the time comes, you got to just move on just the same way and just say, hasta la vista. It was good while it lasted. Bingo, we gone. That's how I see things. And as I said, no one is don't let anybody steal your thunder.
Clear.
Don't let anybody at all steal your thunder.
One of the things I've learned through my life journey is that there are some people that you have to be aware of. You have to look out for them when you have relationships with them. They're good with you, and don't mistake what I'm saying. They literally love you. They care for you. But they judge you by their own standards and insecurities.
Oh, yes.
So you and just have a conversation. They talk for more than 15 minutes. That must mean
something is going on.
And what that actually means is, the interpretation of it is, if that was me having that conversation and it went on for more than 15 minutes, it's because I would be interested in the person. So he or she must be interested in the person too. If I did, he's doing this or she's doing that, and if I did it, this is what it would mean to me. So it must be, that is the situation. And they judge you by that and create all kind of, me, boundaries, escape route 1.
I don't know what you said, but my friend Jenny says, Mr. Very well said. So whatever you said, she said very well said, because we're seeing a lot of things here right now.
Yes, thank you so much.
So now we have to practice mindfulness. The more we can bring our focus to the present moment, says Lisa Oliveira, a licensed marriage and family therapist, the less impact our past or future has on us. When we start practicing being present, our hearts have less control over us, and we have more freedom to choose how we want to respond to our lives, she adds. And she couldn't have said it better. Because if you stick in that hurt, and you see that a lot of people, remember Miss Havisham? Miss Havisham was getting married. The husband say he ain't married, the intended husband say he ain't marrying again. He leave Miss Havisham in she dress. Miss Havisham dead in that wedding dress, based on what they said in the Great Respect stage. Because she was so heartbroken. You see, she didn't have the mindset at that time to get over the hurt and do things to make herself happy. And it all comes back down to you being who you are. And it says, be gentle with yourself. If your first response to not being able to let go of painful situation is to criticize yourself, it's time to show yourself some kindness and compassion. Research says we should treat ourselves like we treat a friend, offering ourselves self-compassion and avoiding comparisons between our journey and those of others. Hurt is inevitable, and we may not be able to avoid pain. However, we can. We can avoid pain. It depends on how we look at it. Because let me tell you something, Jay. No relationship that anybody has, and I want anybody to tell me a lie, that starts off okay. And coming down the road, you don't see what is going on in front of you. You see things, and it's up to you to tell yourself, how much of this am I going to take and how long I'm going to take it? Because it's not that you're not seeing the signs in front of you. You're not seeing what is not taking place or what is taking place in front of you. You see it all. So maybe you may not be rash to make the decision to leave, but you're already gone. Mm-hmm. Because you have already started processing where you are in the stream of things.
Clear.
Yes.
Most people try to avoid pain.
Mm-hmm.
It's a natural human
It's
reaction.
inevitable, as they say.
Not me though. I want pain.
You want pain?
Give it to me. I'll tell you why.
Tell me.
Think of your natural physical body.
Mm-hmm.
If you couldn't feel pain, do you know the harm that you will do to your body on a daily basis?
Yes. Yeah, I know people that can't feel pain and they cut themselves, they don't feel a thing.
There we go.
Mm-hmm.
It is that reaction to pain, that awareness, that tells our bodies that something is dangerous, something provides a threat to us, to ourselves. And if we can detect pain in relationships, right, then we are more than likely to continue going on without even being aware that we are getting hurt.
Yes, true.
If you set your boundaries and things start crossing those boundaries, you start feeling those pains, and it's an indication to you, hey, check this, check that, remedy needed here, remedy needed there, no remedy can be found, exit stage left.
I hear you, sir.
And it's what it is. What is interesting, look, I would love to have a conversation. Maybe that's a topic you can look at. I'll probably come here and just shut up and sit down and listen for the entire program. Is to probably have some women who have been in relationships 30, 40, 50 years. All of them get a set of honey in that relationship. But they've made it through. And something that I found in common in speaking to some women that I know that are in that category is that they would often tell you, you know, the young women of today, they give up too easily. Mm-hmm. They end their relationships too easily. Mm-hmm. They want to be too Miss Independent and too Miss this and too Miss that. Fendependent and all of that. And as a result of that, they don't take the time off to care for their partner. They don't take the time off to understand. They don't take the time off to understand that people do make mistakes and they can recover from them. They can be better. That sometimes you have the responsibility of a partner to see the potential in your partner and go through the rough patches so that they could be the great person that you see them to be tomorrow. But you have to live through the pain and the process today. And I would love to have some more conversation with people who have gone through this. Not people like me and Jester who on the outside here trying to live with best life and protect with peace. But people who have lived through this and gone through this with these long-standing relationships and really get their perspective on how we see a lot of these topics and views.
I know personally people that go through long-standing relationships, but they didn't go through the relationship because they were happy or say they had children. Mm-hmm. And they stayed in that relationship because of their children. Mm-hmm. And the minute that children get adult age, they left that marriage. Mm-hmm. So it's not that women as well as men, most women stay in a relationship for their children, for the sake of their children, because, you know, they want to bring them up in a way to make them have self-esteem, to make them be confident and everything like that. Because, you know, divorce breaks a lot of children's lives because they always blame themselves. It was me that caused my mom and my dad to go this. So a lot of women stay in relationship because of their children. And we know it, you know it, I know it. That when they reach a certain age and the children go out to work or go to school and not coming back, then they tell themselves, it is time for me to move on from that relationship. Because a lot of people in relationships, they get abused emotionally, verbally, physically, and they take it because they had an end game. So what you're saying is true, Jay, but again, we have evolved in this world. You remember you were talking about the young woman and the older person when we had that thing about what we go through? The younger people these days, because they have not been brought up in a world or in an era where they have to learn to be patient with things in their life. They just go, if you're asking for to buy me a pair of shoes or a pair of jeans and they do it, I gone. You understand? Whereas we're gonna take the pair of jeans that we have and patch it and do whatever it is to make life easier for us. And that's the whole thing about it. It's a whole different era of people that we're dealing with now.
Exactly. That's the point, Claire, because the ladies of long ago, they used to take the vows seriously. I mean, no matter what, they used to grind it out. They're almost tolerant. Not these days with
No.
Claire, I wouldn't put my mouth in man. You would often hear me saying, like I was saying to my grave, my grandmother, not even my mother, my grandmother is the best, most loving woman I know in my life experience. Because not even my mother could explain to me things my grandmother went through. Held solid, held firm, and still committed to, wasn't even her husband, relationship of probably 50 years before they actually got married. Still holding through to that, still holding through to the end. I couldn't even begin to imagine and to understand. And when you spoke to her, God bless her soul, she would tell you, I chose to be in this relationship, and it was my responsibility, my duty, to stand by my man in spite of his mistakes and his errors. And I had to show him a better way. And I had to show him why I'm the most valuable thing in his life and why he should be doing better. And I was, wow. And even my mom, I know my mom well enough to know, no way, Jose. A lot of me is her speaking through me. So she couldn't even explain that to me. And, I would look at it. This lady would cook. She's never eaten meat a day in her life. And this man must get pork at least once a week. And he's only meaty and she would cook this for him without even tasting it and cook it to his liking. Do you know the practice you would have to do that for somebody, to get it right and to know that this is exactly how they like each and every piece of food that they eat with a taste in it and all of that level of commitment and so forth. So what has changed and has our women changed, but the expectation of men haven't? Is that an issue? Is that the issue?
I don't know.
Because if there is a modern woman, at some point in time, men will evolve as well to modify themselves to dealing with the modern woman.
Not necessarily.
You hear again?
Not necessarily. Because, Jay, I understand exactly
anyway,
what you're saying.
Coming up close to the news.
Yeah. I understand exactly what you're saying. But again, I says, a different era totally. In the days when our grandparents and so had 11 and 12 and so children, there was that divorce rate, there was nobody divorcing. Nobody knew about the word divorce. Everybody was there for the good, whether you're married or common law, you stuck to it. And they went through a lot, as you say. Their husband or boyfriend and go about their business, and it's because they couldn't do any better. A lot of them stayed in that relationship. We're going to come back after the news. It's 9 o'clock. We have news.
Triple N. Informative, entertaining, and first. Every hour on the hour.
This is the latest update of news as produced by Triple N. The details when we return.
In an industry where customers expect quality, M&N Hardware Limited is a leader in locally manufactured aluminum windows, doors, roofing, and guttering. Our manufacturing division is efficient, flexible, and will always go the extra mile to surpass customer expectations. If you need security, sash, casement, or projected windows, we're able to do it. Our security and heavy-duty doors are state-of-the-art and can be customized specifically for you. Using innovative coating technologies and protective film, our roofing and guttering is weather-resistant, providing outstanding color retention for many years. Available in 24 and 26 gauge and a variety of color options. We are the leading company, a family that is proving to customers they can have their dream products. M&N Hardware Limited. Foundation to roof, let's build together.
Hello and welcome back. Locally, farmers and entrepreneurs across 8 Caribbean countries stand to benefit from the new Canadian $10 million Regional Gender Responsive Climate Smart Agriculture and Food Systems in the Caribbean project, which officially launched on June 3rd at the United Nations House in Barbados. In the region, the deployment of the Kenyan Police Force for a peacekeeping mission in Haiti will most probably take place in the coming week or two, assured William Ruto, the Kenyan president, on Sunday, 9th June.
Kenya is required to lead this mission that was concluded in October 2023 by the United Nations Security Council with a troop of 1,000 policemen to join forces with the Haitian police in the fight against organized gangs. Other countries taking part in this mission include the Republic of Benin, the Bahamas, Bangladesh, Barbados, and Chad. In Kenya, this controversial issue was taken to the Court of Justice on the 26th of January, terming the operation unconstitutional, illegal, and invalid. Human Rights Watch organization at the end of May questioned, among others, the human rights record of the Kenyan police, which has been accused in the past of using excessive force and extrajudicial executions. Haiti has for decades now suffered a chronic political stalemate, with 80% of the capital Port-au-Prince under the control of the criminal gangs accused of several executions, killing, rape, and kidnapping for ransom.
Internationally, the stabilization comes on the heels of the government's decision to liberalize the exchange rate of the Egyptian pound on May 23rd.
For the first time in 2024, Egypt's interest rate has stabilized. The central bank announced on Monday that the rate is now 27.75% following 2 consecutive hikes, totaling 800 basis points. Inflation also fell to 28.1% in May, down from 32.5% in April. This stabilization follows the government's decision to liberalize the Egyptian pound's exchange rate on May 23. The central bank attributes this success to its monetary tightening policy, which has reduced inflation and stabilized exchange rates. The central bank's report forecasts that inflation will continue to decline in 2024 as inflationary pressures ease, with a significant drop expected in the first half of 2025. The high inflation of the past year was mainly due to the rapid money supply growth. However, recent measures to reduce excess liquidity, eliminate the parallel currency market, and lower inflation indicate ongoing progress.
And in sports, Jamaican sprint legend Usain Bolt has sustained a serious injury during Sunday's Night Soccer Aid 2024 charity match held at Chelsea's FC's Stamford Bridge Stadium. The world-famous sprinter was seen leaving the pitch on a stretcher after suffering a ruptured Achilles tendon, a devastating blow for the athlete and his fans. Bolt, who has previously scored in the ITV televised game, was eager to add to his soccer aid tally, leading the line for the World 11 alongside former Italian pro Juventus megastar Alessandro Del Piero. Bolt showed his characteristic enthusiasm and determination. Del Piero managed to find the net, giving the World 11 a 2-1 lead in the first half. Unfortunately, Bolt didn't manage to score, and his team untimely lost their lead, ending up on the wrong end of the 6-3 scoreline. This ends the latest update of news. Thank you for joining us.
Immerse yourself in colors that come alive. Color biases. Let your imagination run wild. Surround yourself in a world of color. Color biases.
Express your style with color by Sissons.
The first word when you speak about furniture is classic. Yes, at Classic Furniture, they design and make the best in local furniture. All their products are made from the finest local wood available on island. You think it, they design it and make it to your expectations. The highest standards at the best possible price. And they also provide higher purchase for you, their valued customers. Located on Ben Jones Street in Grenville with their factory at Chantemelle in St. Patrick. That's where you need to visit when looking for products made of the finest local wood. They deliver and install items at no extra cost. Your satisfaction is their mission. The extra step is taken to ensure their customers are completely satisfied. They do doors and finished kitchens, supplies mattresses, and restores antique pieces to look like the first day they were made. Hey, give us a call on 442-4645 and 442-9726. Classic Furniture, Grenada's homegrown furniture producers.
It is said, the proof of the pudding is in the eating. Therefore, the authenticity of the beverage can only be acquired in the taste. A taste which is original to Antoine de Beauregard Industries and comes from a combination of spices and local rum, which can hold its own all over the world. Woodman, a strength which speaks for itself. A taste which stands out from the rest, bottled with care, which speaks to perfection. Try Woodman today and be stunned by a flavor as never before. Let your palate savor that which is produced locally. Do not be deterred by substandard products. Our taste speaks volumes and sets us apart from the competition. You will be satisfied with every sip of our product. Say rum, say Woodman, feel satisfaction. Now that's quality.
Tourism is me, tourism is you. Tourism is everybody, and tourism connects us all.
Did you know that tourism generates revenue and foreign exchange earnings?
Did you know it stimulates infrastructural development and facilitates cultural exchange among people?
You must know tourism is linked to all industries,
from agriculture to construction.
So support the industry today and be welcoming to all our visitors.
Tourism is my business. Tourism is your business. Tourism is our business. Listen one and all. Tourism connects us all.
A message from the Ministry of Tourism
and the Grenada Tourism Authority.
GRENDEC Community Partnership Initiative.
The theme for the science fair is water and energy strategies, the key to sustainable development. It encourages students, it promotes caring for the environment, sustainable development, and we want the students to display practical activities and real-life situations of what is really going on out in their environment. And we look forward to companies like GRENDEC continuing to see the relevance and significance of something like a national science fair.
GRENDEC, energizing our community.
It's a hungry world out there, with everybody scrambling to get a share. Wolves in sheep clothing, birds of prey waiting to swoop down on you, and there's no telling
You gotta be careful.
And it is 11 minutes after the hour of 9 o'clock. This morning on our program, we are having the topic, how to let go of things in the past. And so far, we've been having a really, really good discussion on how to let go and things that we do. We realize that people are not calling. You all are not calling because you're taking it in or you don't want to put anything out there. We're not naming any names. If you have something to say that you're going through or what you've been through, don't be afraid to call because the discussion is all about us becoming better persons than who we are, regardless of what hurt we get in our lives, or what embarrassment you get, or whatever it is that you're going through in your life. You need to, be yourself. Talk about it because it does help. You may not have to go spend money at the therapist for that one. You can, if you talk about it, you'll be able to get some insight because part of the topic is the heading. It says that you need to talk it out, so that you can really let it flow or the negative vibes flow out of your body. So this is what we are going to be talking about when we come back. So, Jay, the other part that it says is allow the negative emotions to flow. And I don't know where it's flowing to, but we'll talk about that, what negative emotions and how we're letting it flow, through our body. And so, because it talks about being fearful, of things when you don't talk about it and let it go because it can stifle you. So let's talk about that. It says, if your fear of feeling negative emotions is causing you to avoid them, don't worry, you are not alone. In fact, research shows that many times people are afraid of feelings such as grief, anger, disappointment, or sadness. Rather than feeling them, people just try to shut them out, which can disrupt the process of letting go. The negative emotions are like riptides. Let them flow out of you. It may require mental intervention, but fighting them can leave you stuck, the psychologist adds.
So something it really took me a long while to understand and have an appreciation for is that someone's feelings is never wrong. The one thing that is always accurate is your feelings. So you can't tell somebody you can't feel that way. Say, I feel hurt when you do this. That you let it make you feel hurt. You can't feel that way. Why are you letting them make you feel hurt for? Right?
Yeah.
This is somebody telling you this is how they feel. No. What you have to try and understand is what about your action makes them feel that way? What the perceptions are, and then try to correct that. Right? And having someone express how they feel, and then communicating well about that feeling and what contributes to it, I think can resolve a lot of problems for us if we only just take the time off to appreciate that because we feel a particular way in a situation, somebody else does not necessarily feel the same way, even if they're going through the exact same situation together with us, right? And because we perceive some things a particular way, and it makes us feel a certain way, it doesn't mean that the other person has to reciprocate that in the same way. And we shouldn't try to make the person, see, that is the important point here. We shouldn't try to make the other person feel the way we want them to feel. What we need to do is understand how they're feeling and try to understand why it makes them feel that way and then address that. If you get where I'm coming from.
I get you a long time ago.
All right, love.
Jocelyn Francis, good morning. And Ms. Olavachi says, I can relate to that kind of pain. Young man, you are so right. Whatever you're talking this morning, touching the ladies out there. So the pain of people feeling the way you want them to feel and all this.
Just that we're connecting this morning.
We're making boring if I had at the end now.
Let me say good morning to the Gleans family from Marley St. Patrick.
Yes.
Might just be locking it on. Good morning to Deborah out in Grandlands Valley.
Yeah, and Deborah, you see, this morning I'm making him see no trouble. The lady, they always send the lady making him see trouble. I don't know what kind of trouble I don't make the man see. But it says, that's a very important point here. Accept that the other person may not apologize. It says, waiting for an apology from the person who hurt you will slow down the process of letting go. If you are experiencing hurt and pain, it is important to take care of your own healing. which may mean accepting that the person who hurt you isn't going to apologize.
Claire, you know what? I'm a person. I know the way I am, right? So a lot of the times, things that I would say or try to express, it's kind of just my perspective, my point of view, my way of thinking, what helps me to get by. I don't know if it works for everybody, but it's what works for me. And the way I see things are, nobody owes me an apology. Nobody owes me an opportunity.
Okay.
That's just how I live my life. If you wrong me and you choose to apologize, it tells me something about you. It doesn't tell me anything about myself, right? If you choose to provide me with an opportunity, it tells me something about you and what you think about me. It doesn't tell me anything about myself.
True.
Right?
The person won't have to apologize. That's it. The
Exactly.
person, it's on them, not on you.
Claire.
Yes.
Right? It is always on them. It's
On
not
them,
on
not
me.
on me,
So
no.
my peace is always centered. And something about myself. I'm a very confident person. I'm not arrogant, but I'm a very confident person.
There's a big difference.
But I am equally humble as I am confident. My confidence and humbleness are twinned, because I'm always grateful for the things that brought me to this level. I was not always this confident, right?
No one of us.
All right. So there's a lot of things that humble me in life, and things that continue to remind me to be humble and grateful
For what you got.
right? When you think you have it bad, there are others who have it much worse, and so forth, right? So that's just my way of thinking and how I protect my peace. It's on you. You show me love. You show me gratitude. You're apologetic to me. You may have wronged me and decide to express, hey, look, I understand I've wronged you. Apologize. I was, in the wrong here. I make no excuses for it. I wish to have a better relationship going forward, but I leave that up to you. I'm fine with that. I could respect that.
Okay.
And you see, the thing is, an apology is the most common term used to settle any regrets. But I tell you something, nothing hurts me as when somebody uses in the name of apology passively. Trust me, it's better you.
Yeah, keep your sorry yourself.
Yeah. And that's one of the things that happen. A lot of people just use.
They just say I'm sorry because they expect you to hear to say it.
But just does that tell you
that is hurtful?
Does that tell you something about yourself, or does it tell you something about them?
About them?
It more tells something about them. That's for sure. It more tells something about them.
I don't think anybody should go begging for an apology from someone. Because if you beg, that means you desperately need somebody to validate what they did. They know what they did. As I say, it's on them, not on you. So if they feel that they want to say sorry and you want to accept the apology, then fine. But you don't have to beg for it, or you don't have to expect an apology from that person, especially if they're arrogant, they're egotistical and all this kind of thing. You don't get in that. And it's as simple as that. So it says, engage, Jester, in self-care. Not just a word that you don't want to talk about.
Just going spotty.
Self-care.
You see, that is the thing that you didn't get to the last time we were talking about it. In every part of our lives, regardless of what happened, self-care plays an important role in our mental health. Because if you're not taking care of it, who is going to take care of it for you? So it says, when you're hurting, it often feels like there's nothing but hurt, Olivier says. Practicing self-care can look like setting boundaries, saying no, doing the things that brings us joy and comfort, and listening to our own needs first. The more we can implement self-care in our daily lives, the more empowered we are. From that space, our hearts don't feel as overwhelming, she says. Self-care. When you're taking a deep breath, you're like Shamuri whale? What are you breathing deep for?
No, because you see,
in a nutshell, let me put it that way. In a nutshell, regardless of what it is that you're going through in your life, Someone else cannot take care of you or the pain that you're going through or whatever it is. It is up to you, and I'm using that word loosely. It is up to you to do that for yourself. You understand?
Yes.
You have to know what it is that you're going through, the impact it's having on your life, and does that mean that you cannot move from that rut, or you're going to stay there? Because no, you have to take care of yourself, because who is going to know that you're in pain more than you?
Right. So for me, and that's for me personally, there's a two-pronged approach here for me. Because yes, if you do not love yourself, you should not hold to the expectation that somebody else should love you. That's just my personal belief.
I believe that too.
My personal belief.
I'm
So that's
there.
one.
You're not there.
And two, love works best for me when you make your priority loving the other person the right way, as opposed to loving yourself. It should be the other person's duty to love you the right way. So when we start focusing on I'm not getting this and I'm not getting that, and you don't see how this one getting this in their relationship and why he doesn't treat me so,
You cannot
and
compare.
those types of things, we start getting into problem. How does my girlfriend feel this morning? Did she have breakfast? Did she like what she had for breakfast? How does she feel about getting ready for work today? Is her energy right? Is her mind right? Is she in a good mood? How is her day going? Those things are my responsibility. I'm on my way home. Is there something that you need? Feel for a snack, you feel for some roast corn when I'm coming home, whatever it is, you understand what I'm saying? That has to be my response. Hey, we've been home all the last 2 weeks, we haven't gone out, we haven't done nothing. Wednesday we're going out. I don't care where what. You have a preference, tell me now, or else we go do something and go choose and you can't complain.
Right.
We're doing something though, right? Those things are my responsibility, right? Your responsibility is to take care of me in that type of way. And to me, relationships work best that way. It's when we start bringing in the I factor and the me factor. You understand? Because, I have a responsibility to take care of me. I take care of me. Because there's a song I think it's Miley Cyrus. I can love me better than you can.
You could buy your own flowers and you could only hold hand when you're walking.
Yeah.
That is one of my favorite songs.
I can love me better,
Yes,
right?
Yes.
So if I know how to do that and self-care, then it puts me in a position to love you, because I don't depend on you loving me to make me feel good about myself.
To be your own person.
Yeah, to validate how good I feel about myself. But you loving me makes me feel even better.
Well, yes.
But
that's bonus.
Exactly. So that's kind of how I look at it.
My friend says everything starts with you. Once you realize that life will be different, this self-care. Once we realize that we need to take care of ourselves because it starts with us, then our life is going to be better. It cannot be depending on somebody to make you happy, because people can't. You are responsible for your own happiness, and that's when it starts with self-care. The other one says surround yourself with people who fill you up. This simple yet powerful tip can help carry you through a lot of hurt. We can't do life alone, and we can't expect ourselves to go through our hurts alone. Either explains manly. Allowing ourselves to lean on loved ones and their support is such a wonderful way of not limiting isolation, but of reminding us of the good that is in our lives. And I always say every day that the people that I have that surround me, I cannot feel lonely and I cannot be unhappy, because they got my back. I'm telling you, and I'm not afraid to tell them, hey, thank you for being there for me. Thank you for doing this. Thank you for doing that. Because I don't want later on down the road something happened to them and I see that and I say, I should have said that to Jessica. I should have told Sonia that. I should have said that to Jenny or Lorna or somebody. No, I'm saying it now because I appreciate what they do for me, like right now.
Claire.
Yes?
I know people who feel the exact same way that you do about their friends. Only each day their life gets worse.
Well, they're the business.
You have to, this one, I want to advise exercising caution here.
Me?
And not just you, everybody.
In what way?
Because you ever hear the saying that show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are?
That's why I don't have a lot.
Right. It's not the quantity of friends you have. It's the quality of your friends.
Quality friends.
Because some people fill themselves up and some persons have the notion that if you support me, you agree with what I say.
No.
right? Whether right or wrong, you back me up.
No,
they feel
these are not the people that I have
that
in
is
my
what
life.
is so good,
Yeah.
right? And I've been very wary about who I take advice from, and you'll be surprised. Sometimes the kind of persons that we may not even have that type of friendship, but based on a particular type of situation, I would go to a specific person because I know that person is going to be straight up with me. I'm going to give you an honest opinion, and they have expertise and experience in that area to hear what is their view and express my thinking on it and get some other perspective on it, and not necessarily go to my friends who might be more inclined to say, well, yeah, or try to sympathize with me in a situation or so. No,
Listen.
I want it hardcore and raw. I want the truth. I want the facts. Because sometimes, like I said, Claire, that's where the problem is going in. Just a boy, sometimes the problem is us, boy. Sometimes the problem is us. And it's hard to look in yourself in the mirror and I did not even see it. You need somebody else who can be brutally honest with you and say, hey, I love you, but you're doing this and this is wrong.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
You see, I always say to you that I shoot straight up. I'm my authentic self. And you cannot let me, I cannot tell you that I'm going to find people that to be friends with me who are not straight up with me. You can, he's sitting there. I'll tell him things straight. He's going to might want to tell me this, that, but this is who I am. I'm saying it straight as it is. And I expect, if I come to you one day and I said, Jay, you're not smelling the way I normally, normally smell. Believe me when I tell you, I am being true to you because this is who I am, and I have you as my friend, so I'll tell you that. If I smell you smelling really bad, and I keep letting you go for other people to smell bad, then I cannot say that I'm a true friend to you.
Yeah.
I do not have a lot of friends, and that I've known them forever and a day. And so far, they have not let me down, and I have not let them down. Because you don't just go talking to people because you have something to say or you want somebody to hear. You talk to people that can be true to you. If I say to Jenny, hey, this is what's going on, she's a clear girl, I ain't backing you up on that one, you're wrong. You understand? She go tell me that straight. And this is the friends that I want and have in my life. People that are going to tell me as is, not sugarcoat it for me, as you're saying, and make me feel good about myself. No, come to me straight as I'm coming to you, and we good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're right to say beware, because I watched an episode the other day of a thing called When Calls the Heart. And one of the episodes was where I come to you and I say something to you in private, in confidentiality, and then you tell somebody else. No, this is friends where to just give a little bit of something and they're gone. You understand? So you have to know who the people that you have in your life is, and not just bring any Joe Blow and think that they're a friend. Not everybody that come and smell with me is my friend. I'll say, hi, hello, how are you doing? But I know. Remember that wall that I tell you, foot knocks? It is in full operation.
And now you can understand why some people carry forward their experiences and find it hard to let go. You could imagine, Claire, you and Jester, because you and Jester roll much further back, right? And something you're really sensitive about, that you reach out to Jester to say, hey, look, I'm going through this. I need your advice, or I need you to just hear me out on it. And then 2 days later, somebody else could tell you about the conversation. That betrayal of that trust.
That cannot build back easily.
It might be, and it not build back easily with Jester. It might make it more difficult for you to trust other people.
Anybody,
especially new persons coming in. And it may also beg you to question the other friend that you have that you trust.
Yes.
Should you be trusting him? Can you still continue
You're
trusting?
right.
Because if Jester could do it,
who else?
They are capable of doing the
Yes.
same, and maybe force you to closing to yourself a little bit more.
Well, let me tell you, I tell you, my wall in Fort Knox is as thick as ever. And, people might think about, she's saying that, but this is no joke. I protect who I am, and I protect me. And it's not everybody that I let into my little life that I have, because I love it to stay happy the way it is. I don't want no thing here and there and all kind of Joe Blow saying this and that. People are going to say whatever it is that they say, but you see, once I remain true to me, people can say whatever it is they want. It's like water off the duck back. It just rolls out when they speak. So I know who I have in my life as friends. They are more than friends. You hear me say my bestie, and you hear me say my peeps, and these are my peeps. And it may be strange to you, but not every one of them I'll say anything to. You understand? I know You see, my gut instinct tell me what I should say and what I shouldn't say, I can do, know when to hold it and know when to let go. That's who I am. So far, in all the years that I've known them, I haven't been burned as it. And if you want to burn me now, hey, there's nothing that I say to you that I cannot say to anybody else. So burn. Go baby, burn. You know, that's as far as it is. It says, give yourself permission to talk about what makes you hurt. When you're dealing with painful feelings or a situation that hurt you, it is important to give yourself permission to talk about it. Psychology says sometimes people can't let go because they feel they aren't allowed to talk about it. This may be because the people around them no longer want to hear about it, or the person is embarrassed or ashamed to keep talking about it, she explains. But talking it out is important. That's why it is recommended finding a friend, a therapist, who is patient and accepting as well as willing to be our sounding board. So no matter what you're going through, you have to have someone, Jay and Jester, that you can talk about things with. Because holding it inside, you may think that you're doing yourself a good by not saying it to anybody. And I'm not telling you to go and put it on social media and say this is what is going on and that is what. I'm not asking you to do that, but you have someone that you trust enough to say what is going on with you and just let it rip.
Claire?
Again, tell me, the negative is coming?
So, our person, I'm like an onion. So I'm built with layers, and they broaden as you go out. And the smallest circle that I have, my smallest circle, is the one for me and God. There are some things that is for me and God.
Yeah, like everybody else.
I want to vent, that's where I'm going to vent it. I need to talk about it, I need help with it, that's where I'm going.
Yeah.
And then there are other things that I'll build out my circle as it goes out. Because there are some things, to be quite honest with you, that you're going through. And venting may make you feel better, but it doesn't help you solve it. And I'm more of a solutions-oriented person. And so I often find myself, I may speak to someone, not just a vent. I usually speak to someone that I believe can help me have a different perspective, help me with an approach to resolve. And if I don't think that's possible, then I take it to God in prayer. And sometimes I have long talks, and I'm not kind of nature person. So you might find me by the river, by the beach, in the mountain. That's kind of who I am. I feel in tune and in the energy of nature. That's who I am. I could give you an example. Sunday morning, I was coming for an event, and while I was on my way home, I saw the sun coming up. And I thought it looked so awesome. And I felt stressed. I felt tired. To be honest with you, I was a little bit frustrated. And rather than go home, I drove to the beach. And I went to a position where I could actually watch the sun come up. I took pictures. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the waves, the action, the energy. And I felt so good living there. I couldn't even remember what was bothering me or what the negative was about. And that energy just stuck with me for the entire day. So, sometimes it's not always about venting to someone who has a little. Some people need that.
It didn't say vent, eh?
Yeah. Well, speaking, speaking out. Some people need that. Sometimes you need to speak to your therapist. Sometimes you have a bestie like you that you can speak to. Sometimes you speak to yourself. Sometimes you just talk it and express it. Sometimes you just get that negative energy out of your system.
Yeah.
You know. So that's what works for me.
I like nature too, and I walk, and I always see that when I walk, I have a conversation with me when I'm walking and stuff like that. And I solve a lot of stuff walking. I solve lots of problems walking when I'm doing, because you're at one with nature. I have my music on, and people might think, well, okay, she's listening to the music and so, but while my brain can multitask. My brain is busy like that. I can listen to a song, but I can always think about what next that is coming. And you walk, and like you say, you think about things, and by the time you get back, you almost solve whatever it is that what you're going through. But there are times that maybe it is you need the perspective of someone else, because sometimes I might want to do something and just go on, like me, go on home and just go do it. And I need somebody to pull me back. I say, Claire, hold on. Let's look at it in that light. Because I know me. And I am the sort of person, when I want to do something, I just do it. Because I am doing it because I know why I'm doing it. But if somebody gives me another option as to, okay, you can do it that way, I'll think about it and I say, maybe you're right. But me, it's gone home for me. I have always been like that. When I just want to get things out of my way and so sometimes you talk about things not because you want somebody to give you the answer to what you're talking about. Just for you to talk about it and put it out there. Because sometimes when you talk about things, it makes you feel better as a person. Then you're holding it inside and it's eating you alive. And there's no outlet for it. You got to find an outlet because then you might be walking the streets. And I don't want to walk the streets, so I'll talk.
Yeah, well, no man is an island. And at some point in time, we need to vent with somebody. But it must be somebody confidential, especially depending on the circumstances of what the situation you might be going through. You know, I don't just talk to anybody about certain things that not happening, you know. My dad had bushes, we talk all sort of things. But you know, funny enough, going back to friendship, right? As close as me and bushes from way back when. You know, many a time me and bushes, we don't see eye to eye on a lot of things because bushes was always that type of radical kind of person in growing up. And sometimes he want to do certain things and all he go here I'm saying once it doesn't suit me, I'll go here and say, Mr. Man, I'm taking part in that. Simple as that. So,
we have
no,
a
I'm
call,
telling you.
Yes, we have a call. Good morning. I think the person hung up. You can call back for 420-175. Yes, and I understand what you're saying because it's not everybody, because you go telling everything because some people, as I say, they have their own issues.
Clay, you ever had the experience of talking about a problem to somebody, not wanting them to solve it for you, just trying to express, and in talking about the problem, you get the solution,
yes.
Or maybe they question you about the problem, that you end up finding the solution yourself?
Yes.
So it works.
We got a call. Good morning.
Yeah, coffee in the morning.
Good morning, Coffee, and how are you?
I'm on top of the world. I Chester.
The coffee man.
Yeah, coffee man, you know. Yeah. I feel good, man.
Yes, James Brown, go ahead.
I feel good, yeah. You know, life nice, you know. Getting up this morning and see the rising of the sun, that by itself is a miracle.
Yes, it is.
And I'm going to enjoy every bit of it. And anybody standing my way, I crush them.
Oh, okay. That's Optimus Prime.
Crush them, boy. Your topic this morning, you know, sometimes, you know, there are times that you will have something in you and, you know, something that is burning and you need somebody to vomit it on for them to clean it for you or help you clean it. But in this day and age that we live in, the question is who? Yes, we will have a lot of trust and a lot of confidence in people. But there is an old Sankey song that says, the arms of flesh shall fail you, you dare not trust your own. But you still have to trust somebody to let it out. Because you keep it inside and I tell you, according you start walking and, you know, and looking at the stars. You know. But again, confidentiality is something I believe I may be wrong, but it's of the past. Confidence. There are some people that, you know, they're not confidential. And how can you know that some people are not confidential? You believe that you have a good friend and I go tell my friend anything and that will be confidential. But sometimes you wonder. Most of the time it is not. And I could remember the story was told about a young guy that went to the priest to confess. That man went to the priest to confess. And you know, he was in a confession room and while he was there, he told the priest, he said, Father, I steal a cow. And the priest said unto him, my son, God will forgive you. And he said, Father, has my wife committed adultery? He said, my son, God will forgive you. And the guy there, and make a little pause, and the priest said, is that all? And he said, no. He said, Father, I kill a man. The priest said, that is for the police boy. I rest my case. All have a good day. Confidentiality.
Yes, take care. All right. So that is for the police. That means God I forgive you for that one at all. That is for the police. So that means the priest call the police. That's it. Yeah, so you know there are a lot of things, but you see again, you have to know the people that you have around you. You have to know, and no one is You cannot swear for anybody and say, oh, this person wouldn't do that to me or that person. It's a chance that you're taking. And if you're an island and you're going to live by yourself and not say anything to anybody, then your life is going down a rabbit hole and you're going on with it all alone, lonely and miserable.
Yeah.
Lonely and miserable. So, yes, we cannot always tell people what we have in our mind and say you could talk to God. Mm-hmm. Yes, and that's something that all of us has to do. We have to say what is in our mind. He's listening. The only thing is that we don't hear his voice answering us. But the things that he puts in front of us is to let us know, I am answering you and this is what I'm doing for you. Take it and move. Mm-hmm. That's it. So you might get something saying, oh, you know what, I don't know, I'm not sure if I could do this one, I'm not sure I could do that. But you go down on your knees and you throw it out there, and he said, when you give him, don't take it back. You give him, let him deal with it. Because my philosophy is, for me personally, the things that I can take care of, I'll take care of it. What I can't take off, I just let it be. Mm-hmm. It's normally work itself out somewhere along the line.
We often don't want to believe that God's timing is always perfect.
Always.
He's always on time. Mm-hmm. He's always perfect. Sometimes we want things to work out in our own timing, and we try to put things in place to make certain things happen. And, sometimes God says, slow down, not yet. I have something better for you. I know what you want for yourself, but you're limited in your thinking. You're limited as a human being. I have greater plans for you. But you need to be patient and you need to allow me to build the capacity within you so that when I put you on this platform that you could handle it, that you could manage it. Because if I put you there now, it might turn out to be a disaster for you.
Yeah, and that's quite true. Hear this, it says, give yourself permission to forgive. Remember we were talking earlier and said the person may not forgive you also, but now it's saying give yourself. It says, since waiting for the other person to apologize can stall the process of letting go, you may have to work on your own forgiveness. Forgiveness is vital to the healing process because it allows you to let go of anger, guilt, shame, sadness, or any other feeling you may be experiencing and move on. And if you have a cow and you find you can say, let it go, say, move on. That's it. So you have to learn to forgive yourself or even forgive the person themselves too. But it has to start from within.
Well, right. So in the same way, like I said to you, apologies and opportunities is for others, not for you. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. In the same way, I believe forgiveness is for you and not for others.
That's true.
When you forgive somebody else, you are freeing yourself of that energy of hurt, and because that's you that carrying it, the other person not carrying it.
No, it's you.
You that carrying it, right? So by not forgiving others, we're actually punishing ourselves for the mistakes of others. I want to repeat that because some people didn't get it. When we forgive, right, we are freeing ourselves from the hurt that others have imposed on us. Forgiveness is for us. Right? We don't want to go forward carrying and punishing ourselves for the mistakes of others. Right? So forgiveness is for you. But because I forgive you does not mean that I am willing to allow you within my circle moving forward or to have the same type of relationship that we've had previously, because you've proven yourself untrustworthy, you've proven yourself to be deceitful. Now I forgive you for whatever the occurrence was, right? But I've also learned from that, and unless you've taken accountability for it, because I could forgive you without you apologizing, and that's the hard part, I could forgive you without you apologizing or even asking for my forgiveness.
Right. Hold up, we got a call. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning to everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Toronto. Good morning. Yeah. So I like this point here of giving yourself permission to forgive. But also we should not pressure ourselves to forgive immediately. I think we have to give ourselves time or permission to feel the hurt and to walk through our feelings of resentment and hostility, because it takes time. But when we give ourselves time to forgive, we also releasing the negative feelings or emotions that may come up, because every time we remember that person or what happened, we will bring up all that negative feelings.
Mm-hmm.
So we want to get away from that. So that's why we have to give ourselves permission to forgive. But we also have to be realistic and know that it will take time. Because giving ourselves permission to forgive is really doing ourselves a favor.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We're doing ourselves a favor that eventually we will get to the point where we could look back at the incident and we do not feel all the negativity and the resentment and the hurt that comes up when we remember what actually happened. So I really like that point. But we just have to be realistic and know that it will take time to happen. So have a good day.
Thank you so very much. Talk to
Thank
you soon.
you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Claire, the caller is so on point with this.
I didn't expect you to say anything better. She called he's longer than whatever. You want to just take my friend from me. I don't understand what's wrong with you. But go ahead.
Claire,
yes.
Okay, I will take you down St. George's where we do assessment when we're done.
Thank you. I'm going for the free ride. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because forgiveness will come over a period of time.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just somebody do something so bad with all the anger you go through, vex you, and you just, okay, I've forgiven one day. You don't walk that way, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's a process that comes along over a period of time, right? And as the caller rightly said, while that is happening, you give yourself, it's like, you're purging yourself out from the effects you felt from how that person would have wronged you,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And then later on, you will find it in your heart to say, okay, well, the time has reached that time, and to forgive. Yeah.
Claire, cut from a different cloth.
I think I'm going to fire you, if I fire you. You're getting fired. Just
I cut from a different cloth. But I'm not here and at this stage in my life that I'm at by accident. It took experiences to get me here,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I'm at a stage in my life, like I told you, my goal is my peace, right? And when people wrong me, I almost immediately forgive them, because, like I said, I establish my boundaries, right? And when you transgress against them, it tells me about you. It doesn't really tell me about me. And I understand you're human and you err, and I don't hold you to that. You supposed to and you ought to and whatever. You are who you are. You are your own individual, and you have a right to behave and be who you choose to be. I'm not in control of that. What I'm in control of is how I go forward from there. And almost immediately, I don't want to go forward no bad advice. Even if I have to tell you, Claire, listen, I appreciate what you've done for me in the past, right? But I don't think we're at a place where we can move forward with our friendship in the same type of way that we've had it.
Mm-hmm.
I look forward to still being your friend, but we have a new set of boundaries as it pertains to that. If you're comfortable with that, that's all well and good with me.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not, I understand, and I do wish you best. I wish you a happy life. I wish you success. I'm a person who always wishes well for other people.
That makes sense, yeah.
Because in doing so, you're on your happy journey, and now I'm free to pursue my happy place, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't like carrying around grudge and resentment and anger and hate and that type of feeling inside of me. It throws me off from being who I am.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that's just how I've set up my internal structure that allows me to be unapologetically me and to be consistent with my peace and my happy place.
Somebody says amen, brother.
Much love, much love.
And this is my peeps and them are saying that,
Oh.
I got to fire all of them. From Jester go right back Jester. I bet you are going in town with Jester after that.
We have to go and assess you. The pink house here again.
Oh, Mamma Mia. So, yes, but you know what you're saying is correct. You can't just let, you can't let yourself be held back by holding on to things that is hurting, that you put in double hurt on yourself, It's like double jeopardy.
Yeah.
You're already hurt, and then you're holding that grudges inside, and you're going on as though, well, you know, the world is on your shoulder. It's not supposed to be sitting on your shoulder. That's why you just let it out, let it fly like a needle. Free yourself.
And it's funny you use the word double jeopardy, yeah? Because you're hurt, and you're holding on to anger and resentment to justify your feeling of hurt.
No, don't do that.
When you don't want any of those feelings, you know.
That's why, like I said, no one is going to steal my thunder. They could take the lightning, afraid lightning, like ever. But the thunder, no, I am going to hold on to my thunder because I know who I am and what makes me tick. I know my little niche in my life and where I want to be and where I'm going. So nobody's going to steal the thunder from me. I am going to be who I am. And if in the case where, as you said, you want to just free yourself, be free. Fly like an eagle. And just, you know, when you're soaring out there, you know where you're soaring to go. And that's the end of it.
And I'm happy for you.
Yes, because you're holding on to things and you wishing bad things on the person and all that. It's not a good omen for you either. Because, you know, that means you cannot find it in yourself to be the real person that you want to be.
Correct. You know, a bigger part of that problem.
No, tell me.
Is that we try to justify how other people treat us, right? So somebody hurt us, they broke our heart, we hang on to the anger and the resentment until we could come up with a reason why they would act in such a way to treat us in a particular way.
You're wrong.
Right? No, that has nothing to do with you.
No, it's on them again.
Right? That is 100%
on them.
On them.
Yeah.
And so this is one of my weird ways of acting, right? A lot of people may say to me, "Oh, you never cared, or you never loved, or you never, you know, were into this," and that's why it's so easy for you to let go, move past, move on. The answer is no. It's easy for me to do that because I'm a loving, caring person, but I do not believe you're obligated to love me and care for me. So even if you hurt me, I understand that I'm just not your choice, the right person for you in the moment. You hear what I'm saying? I'm not saying you're not the right person for me. I am not the right person for you in the moment, and therefore you need to pursue other options and opportunities. And I wish you well, I wish you best. Can you imagine if I was the person blocking you from your blessing? Now, how would I feel about that? Go, be free, do you, do what you need to do and be happy. Now it's on me to take control of me, and from there on out to find my happiness, to position myself in such a place that my special someone could probably find me.
I'm thinking of a virgin on that. Just a less virgin on that. A virgin. After that you will bring me the pink out.
I'm not making joke.
You want to hold me and pitch me inside your vehicle because I want to. Yeah, that's a good point you made. Very good point, and I hope people out there are listening because you see, my peeps and them in Toronto, they get in it because they know. You know, the thing is, everybody been through some sort of hardship in their life as we're growing up. Some harder than the other, and when you reach at an adult stage, there comes a time when you say, you know what, enough is enough of this. I am not going to sit around and just dilly-dally and wait for something to happen to me. You got to make something happen. You got to call. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Okay. I was listening to the last caller, you know, and I'm in agreement with him per se, yeah? My reason for saying that there are some women, they're too damn ungrateful, man. Yeah, they are too damn ungrateful.
Vice versa. Vice versa.
And it's vice versa in the sense. Yeah, but I believe the greater part of the ungratefulness is on the woman part, man. Come on.
How did you come up with that?
I had that experience before.
Okay.
I had it before. So I don't want to go into details.
No, you don't have to. Okay.
I decided today to be a listener, you know. Yeah, Jester, how are you doing, man?
I'm doing fine, my brother.
Well, it's Lazarus, Bachelor Lazarus.
Well, we know that. Yes, I heard that voice last week.
The closet man.
The closet man.
Thank you very much. I'm listening to the program.
Okay, take care. Bye-bye.
Have a wonderful day, bro.
So Clay, let me speak to Brother Lazarus a little bit because I know he's listening, right? And I do agree with him. Some people can be ungrateful in our lives.
Mm-hmm.
And we hang on to that hurt of that ungratefulness because we cannot justify to ourselves why somebody would treat us that way.
Mm-hmm.
And we keep holding on to it to find a reason as to why would somebody act in such a way to hurt us when we genuinely gave it our all, we committed, we invested, we did all these things, and then they turn around and they take we house, we land, we car, we children. Right?
Okay.
And that's a valid way to feel upset and to feel and to have remorse and to carry that experience going with you forward. Here's my question though. How has that served you?
How is it working for you? That's
It's
the
not
question
serving you.
to ask, yeah.
It's not serving you in any capacity. If you make a choice to say, hey, because forgiveness is a choice, I want to repeat that. Forgiveness is a choice. If we made the choice to forgive and to say, hey, I wasn't the right person for you, I gave you my best shot, and you felt there was something better out there for you. Whether it worked out for you or not, that was your choice to make. You made it, and you're living your life.
Sure.
Me, I am now free of that responsibility, free to move forward with my life, rebuild my life. If I built up a family, a house, land, car, and I had to give it all to you, the one thing I'm confident about, I have the ability to get house, land, car, and a family.
Speaking
And
like
this
a
time
true
with the
hero.
right
Yes,
person.
yes.
Right? So I believe in investing in me going in forward, not investing and planting and not watering the seeds of despair that you've tried to plant it in me. No, I'm going to uproot that, throw that out, and water my own garden to grow and flower.
Mm-hmm. There's a message from our good friend, Nicholas Snag. Morning, CJ, Jess, and Jelani. I and Real FM listeners, I am a rider on the bus this morning. Have a blessed day all. He's riding on a bus this morning. So he just wanted to let us know that he's listening. Thank you so much, and wherever you are, enjoy.
Good morning, my brother Snag. Happy, safe travels.
Thank you very much, Mr. Snag.
You might want to wait by the side of the road when Jester coming on giving me the pink house to go with,
Yes,
to go with me.
I will need his help.
That you might need on the bus. So the next point is seek professional help. If you struggle to let go of a painful experience, you may benefit from talking to a professional. Sometimes it is difficult to implement these tips on your own, and you need an experienced professional to help guide you through the process. Choose to treat yourselves kindly and lovingly when it comes. Sometimes we cannot do it on our own.
True.
We need to go speak to someone. And gone are the days when we used to say, oh yeah, I'm going to a therapist, and they put me lie down upside down on a couch, and they sit in a corner with a leg fold, and they say, so Claire, what is the issue? And you start telling them, and they say, stop, this is not what you should do this. And no. Now they face to face, eyeballing each other, telling, because they will know if you're telling them everything, or you're keeping back someone, you're lying, so they know that because they're trained. So when you go for help, just be honest and be true. Say everything that is in there, because you're going for help, not to just go to hear what you want to hear and you continue doing the same things that you're doing and making people believe that, okay, well, I outsmart her, I outsmart him because I didn't say. It is your benefit, not theirs. They're not the ones that are having the problems. You are. So if you cannot be true to the things that you're saying, and you cannot be authentic self and be real about what it is that you're talking about, don't bother to go wasting your money and the people's time.
And some people need more help than they actually recognize.
Yes.
Even people in therapy.
Yeah.
Because they don't recognize that they're in denial.
Oh, yeah.
That they've made up certain things to protect themselves and so on, that they need to discover themselves. Quite often, professional help doesn't really give you the answers. It really and truly puts you through a process and helps you to ask yourself the right questions,
the tough questions
that you need to
hard
answer
questions.
yourself. And sometimes you really need to think on it, reflect on it, ponder on it a little bit, ruminate on it.
And then we regurgitate.
Yes, and before you could start coming up with, and maybe further questions would send you back to think even deeper again. And those things help you. But what it does is it provides you with a safe environment, a healthy process to help you get through and walk through what are the things that are bothering you. And who would want to refuse that type of help?
Exactly. Now we're almost to the end of our program in Music Number 10, and here's the takeaway. To let go of past hurts, you need to make the conscious decision to take control of the situation. However, this can take time and practice. Be kind to yourself as you practice refocusing on how you see the situation and celebrate the small victories you have. So in all of that dark cloud, there is that silver lining of your personal victory. Enjoy that. Now let me just say, Maria Rovachi says, good topic, I enjoy it, love you all, God bless. Deborah McQueen, lovely topic, good morning everyone. I'd like to say thank you to each and every one of you that listened via terrestrial radio, on the live, and wherever it is that you're listening to. Let me say a special good morning again to Alban Harris and to Frank Chadburn out there in Ecuador. Thank you for checking in. It is 10 o'clock. Let me say thank you to Jester, my good friend, my co-host, and Jelani, my sub-host. Next Tuesday, we'll see what we can come up with again to have an interesting topic and see where we go with it. So thank you all. Be kind to everyone because kind people are the best kind of people. It is 10 o'clock. It is news time.
Triple N. Informative, entertaining, and first. Every hour on the hour.
This is the latest update of news as produced by Triple